Survival for all. I start by building a mecha and piloting a Gundam. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 376. The Alliance army arrives outside Dragon Valley and a fierce battle begins. My lord has sent down an oracle. The Castle Alliance army is coming. The scale is in the millions, but the strength is very weak, and the strongest is only at the early stage of level 21. The level of the enemy's arms is generally below level 20, and a few have reached above level 20. We will each form a hunting team, led by level 21, and supplemented by level 20, to wipe out the enemy army, purify their bodies with missiles, redeem their souls with killing, destroy all the enemy's air forces and clear the field for the big yellow duck. Kill. Swish. In the Dragon Valley, thousands of warriors, elves, dwarves, and phoenix guards all soared into the sky. After the war with the Dragon's Nest, the weakest of the 6,000 or 7,000 arms participating in the Black Technology Castle were promoted to level 20. After all, they were selected elites, and the lowest level of the participating arms was level 18. It was normal for them to be promoted to level 20 after slaughtering thousands of dragons. The most important thing is that in the various armies of the Black Technology Castle, there are still a large number of peak level 20 soldiers who have been promoted to level 21 after the battle. By the end of the war with Dragon Nest, the number of level 21 warriors in the Black Technology Castle army has broken through from more than 200 to more than 500. In other words, in Tang Xiaofan's castle army of more than 100,000 people, there are more than 500 level 21 warriors, and the rest of the soldiers are all level 20. The lineup is luxurious. In just a moment, dense figures soared into the sky. At level 20, creatures have the ability to fly, such as natural elves and other creatures without wings, which can also fly at high altitudes. At this moment, all the soldiers of the Black Technology Castle are flying high in the sky, and the momentum they exude is extremely powerful. They each form a hunting team, with a level 21 warrior as a leader and more than 10 level 20 warriors as the auxiliary, and 200 steel warrior formations. This can maximize their combat effectiveness and destructive power. At the same time, with the protection of the domain power of the 20 level strong, the safety of those 20 level soldiers was greatly improved. The entire army was divided into more than 500 hunting teams in a short time, and they rushed towards the Castle Alliance army coming from all directions. In a short while, the hunting team of the Black Technology Castle collided with the Alliance Castle army like the sun shining on snowflakes. For a time, shouts, screams, and explosions of magic filled the whole world. Looking down from the sky, the 500 hunting teams of the Black Technology Castle were like more than 500 sharp arrows piercing into the Black Ocean and advancing at an extremely terrifying speed. Wherever they passed, the Castle Alliance's soldiers were crushed into pieces. No soldier could resist the hunting team of the Black Technology Castle. The powerful 20 level domain swept across, leaving corpses all over the ground. 20 level magic divine arts and combat skills whistled away and harvested the lives of a group of Alliance soldiers. Under the protection of the 21st level soldiers domain, the 20th level warriors, elves and other soldiers in the team did not need to worry about defense at all and attacked with all their strength, releasing a series of range attack missiles, magic, and combat skills, sweeping across a large area of the Alliance's soldiers. More than 500 hunting teams were like more than 500 meat grinders. They killed the Alliance soldiers and horses, and the ground was covered with mutilated corpses. Fuck. How can the Black Tech Castle's troops be so terrifying? Oh my god. At a glance, they are all level 21 and 20 troops. Doesn't Tang Xiaofan have any troops weaker than level 20? Too scary. My dwarf musketeer corps only fired one round of muskets, and before they had time to reload, they were wiped out by a team from the Black Tech Castle. What's yours? My skeleton knight corps was swept by a white light and disintegrated in an instant. The skeleton magicians in the rear didn't have time to revive them before they died. 800 undead troops died in an instant. That's the holy light. The warriors from Tang Xiaofan are the nemesis of undead creatures. In short, it's a big loss. By the way, is that Tang Xiaofan's warrior? He looks so cool. Why aren't my troops warriors? Envy and jealousy. The key is that Tang Xiaofan also has those natural elves on the elves. Although they don't look as cool as warriors, they are all beautiful and colorful. I'm so jealous of Tang Xiaofan. Tang Xiaofan also has the Phoenix Guard. Why is there such a big gap between Tang Xiaofan and me? Look at his troops, and then look at my Tin. They both look ugly, and their strength is so weak. My gal quit the group chat. Stop talking nonsense, okay? We are at war now. On the battlefield, a top castle lord roared, "Brothers, the enemy is right in front of us. Kill them. Kill." Countless castle lords shouted excitedly, and more castle soldiers rushed forward, like a tide of ants, surrounding the Black Tech castle hunting team that had already entered their army camp. As for the castle lords, they hid in the back. After all, no one wanted to die. Let the soldiers under their command do the things that would kill them. All they had to do was to remotely control the army of their soldiers from the back of the camp. As for tactics, there were no tactics, just do it. Compared with the warriors, elves, Phoenix Guards and other level 20 and 21 soldiers under Tang Xiaofan, their soldiers were so weak that they could hardly bear to fight. The only advantage was the large number, nearly 200,000. They could not be killed. In this case, what tactics were needed? They only needed to fill the gap with the lives of the soldiers until Tang Xiaofan's soldiers ran out of magic power and exhausted their bodies, and the victory of the war would belong to them. Of course, this could also be called the human wave tactic. Whether the war could be won depended on whether they filled the castle with enough soldiers. The treasure of the dragon's nest is in sight. Kill. Many castle lords hiding in the rear shouted, frantically ordering their castle legions to besiege Tang Xiaofan's hunting team. It can be clearly seen that the battlefield, which covers dozens of kilometers, is full of densely packed alliance soldiers, and the center is Tang Xiaofan's hunting team. A large number of alliance soldiers are killed every moment, but then, there are more alliance soldiers like a tide. The scene is simply too crazy. It's just like the Zerg besieging the human base in the movie. It's very shocking. It just so happens that all of Tang Xiaofan's soldiers have been promoted to level 20 and 21, and have the ability to fly. More than 500 hunting teams are all flying in the sky. Their main opponents are the flying soldiers in the Alliance army. As for the soldiers on the ground, they are almost not a big threat to them. After all, those soldiers can't fly. For the hunting team, as long as they clear out the flying soldiers in the Castle Alliance army, those ground soldiers will be left to them to slaughter. Of course, even this is not easy, because the number of flying soldiers in the Alliance army is as high as tens of thousands. It's really like a torrent. But Tang Xiaofan is not worried. Why? Because he has more than 500 hunting teams. The tens of thousands of flying soldiers in the Alliance army are distributed to his hunting teams. On average, a hunting team only needs to deal with multiple flying soldiers. It's really nothing. Tang Xiaofan believes that the war in the sky will end soon, and then his big yellow duck will start a crazy slaughter of the ground soldiers of the Alliance army. Chapter 377 The surviving dragons changed their beliefs and fought for Tang Xiaofan. In the Dragon Valley, more than 2,000 giant dragons were crawling on the ground, looking at each other in bewilderment. The areas around the dragon's nest were bustling with people fighting to the death, but the Dragon Valley was quiet and peaceful. They felt very lonely. How about we run away while the Black Tech Castle is fighting with that army? Where to run? There are enemies everywhere, in the sky and on the ground. Once we leave the dragon's nest, we will be attacked as enemies. It's safest to stay in the Dragon Valley. Waiting here all the time is not a good idea. After the war is over, the evil god believers of the Black Tech Castle will attack us sooner or later. It's not necessarily that the Black Tech Castle will win. After all, the number of enemy troops is too large. Their figures are everywhere in the mountains and plains, and they are crazy and fearless of death. It's useless. Their strength is too weak. After all, the demigods of the Black Tech Castle haven't made a move yet. Look at the Dragon King Hall. There are 3 demigods guarding it, and 5 peak level 21 are being promoted to demigods. Once the divine fire is successfully ignited, the Black Tech Castle will have 8 demigods. 8 demigods. Slaughtering that army that came out of nowhere is like drinking water. In just 1 month, the Black Technology Castle will have 8 demigods. The power of the Lord of the Otherworld Castle is too terrifying. I'm now beginning to worry about the empires in the central area. Let's worry about us first. Silence. The promotion over there is over. Truth is supreme. How can it be so fast? You know, it took our patriarch 7 days to be promoted to demigod, and it seems that they took less than half an hour from the beginning to the end of the promotion. This is the power of another world. It is unpredictable. Here he comes. Don't talk. The dragons shut their mouths one after another, and then carefully raised their heads and looked at a warrior flying towards them. Heretics of the dragon's nest. You chose to surrender. Believe in the Almighty Lord. The Lord will grant you eternal life. The Lord will grant you a new life. The angel of Heart Tigger stood high in the sky, holding a silver staff, looking down at the more than 2,000 dragons in the Dragon Valley. Under her gaze, all the dragons put their heads to the ground obediently. In the previous war, the army of the Black Technology Castle had already scared them, so they chose to surrender. Now facing the demigods of the Black Technology Castle, they dared not resist. After about half an hour of promotion, not only the Angel of Heart Tigger, but also 4 people including the Terminator Guide, Zan 12, Zan 27 and the Great Elf Monica, all successfully promoted to the demigod realm. This is the castle army. As long as the growth potential is reached, and the energy value harvested exceeds the limit of the level, you can be promoted, and it is a 100% successful promotion, and there will be no promotion failure at all. If it is a local intelligent creature, it is very difficult to ignite the divine fire. Once it fails, it is possible to attract the divine fire and burn directly into a pile of ashes. Facing more than 2,000 dragons in the Dragon Valley, the Angel of Heart Tigger did not hesitate, and immediately waved the staff in his hand. Lord, have mercy on the world. The world should believe in the Lord and worship the Lord. The Almighty Lord created the world, created all things, and created all living things. Love, selflessness, and mercy. The world should pray to the Lord and pray for the Lord's blessing. Along with the soft voice of the Angel of Heart Tigger, endless light rain fell from the void and merged into the bodies of those dragons, including their souls. Some dragons felt the crisis and instinctively wanted to resist, but in an instant, they were suppressed by the power of the demigod and surrendered obediently. Soon, all the dragons were covered by the light rain, and their golden vertical pupils began to become confused, and finally regained clarity. Angel Tigger of the Heart whispered, "Believe in the Lord and you will have eternal life." More than 2,000 dragons also shouted enthusiastically, "The holy light is always there. My Lord is eternal." Very good. Angel Tigger of the Heart said, "The Lord's glory covers you. You will fight for the Lord and be fearless. Obey the Lord's oracle, and kill all the enemies who invaded the forest. This forest belongs to the Almighty Lord." Roar. Suddenly, more than 2,000 dragons raised their heads and roared. Then they flapped their huge dragon wings and soared into the sky. They roared directly towards the Alliance army on the battlefield. Under the power of faith, they were really fearless, and their morale also climbed to the peak. Boom 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 boom. Just after joining the battlefield, more than 2,000 dragons began to spit out dragon breath crazily. Wherever the dragon breath passed, everything turned into ashes. Whether it was the flying arms in the sky or the land arms on the ground, they were all their targets of attack. They were completely heading towards the sea of people. They would spit fire wherever there were many enemies. In a short time, more than 10,000 soldiers died under their dragon breath. The dragon breath of these giant dragons was not very useful to the soldiers of the Black Technology Castle, because Tang Xiaofan's soldiers were very powerful and fast, and they could not be sprayed at all. For example, Tang Xiaofan's soldiers did not care about the dragon breath at all. But the soldiers of the Alliance army were different. They were generally below level 20, weak, and as numerous as ants. This made the destructive power of dragon breath fully manifested. More than 2,000 giant dragons, flapping their wings and spitting hot dragon breath crazily in the sky, were like a disaster for the castle lords of the god-destroying alliance and the god-slaughtering alliance. Heavy losses. Damn. How come so many dragons suddenly appeared? Is there a building in Tang Xiaofan's Black Tech Castle that can recruit dragons? No. They are dragons from the dragon's nest, and they surrendered under Tang Xiaofan's suppression. Fuck. A group of surrendered soldiers. Are they working so hard? This is the power of faith. Tang Xiaofan's angels are a natural race of faith. There must be an angel who used some kind of magic to transform these surrendered dragons into Tang Xiaofan's believers. Tang Xiaofan is one step faster than us on the path to the god of faith. You are talking nonsense. Tang Xiaofan's initial troop type is demons. He developed a group of angels a long time ago, but there was no faith at that time. No matter which aspect, Tang Xiaofan is ahead of us. So he must seize those dragons. Don't let them breathe fire. If they keep on breathing, the army will be wiped out by them. That's dragon breath, not fire. The war quickly entered a white-hot stage, and the troops of both camps frantically attacked the enemies in front of them. A large number of soldiers fell every moment, but it seemed that the dead were the soldiers of the God-destroying alliance and the God-slaughtering alliance. None of the soldiers of the Black Technology Castle fell. After all, each hunting team was protected by the domain of a 21st level strongman, and it was not easy to kill them. Moreover, as the war continued, more and more soldiers of the Alliance army died, and the strength of the soldiers of the Black Technology Castle became stronger and stronger. They gained a huge amount of experience in killing enemies, and many soldiers were promoted to higher levels. There were even warriors at the peak of level 20 who were directly promoted to level 21 during the battle, and their strength soared. Even the surrendered dragons had their combat effectiveness greatly improved. The army of the Black Technology Castle became stronger and stronger, while the army of the Castle Alliance became weaker and weaker. This led to some castle lords who saw the situation clearly, calling on their soldiers on the battlefield to retreat. The outcome of this war was obviously doomed. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 378. The Castle Alliance suffers heavy casualties outside the Dragon's Nest. On the wall of Sky City, the golden light of promotion has disappeared, and the divine fire has also melted into Tang Xiaofan's body. It's not easy. Finally promoted to demigod, Tang Xiaofan slowly stood up and breathed a sigh of relief. If there were any castle lords who heard his sigh, they would probably roll their eyes. You know, at this stage, there are not many castle lords who have been promoted to level 21. Only a very small number of Xiang level castle lords have barely been promoted to level 21, such as Feng Jing of the ancient giant bear castle, who is now at the beginning of level 21. Most castle lords are only below level 20. A few have reached level 20. And what about Tang Xiaofan? He is already a demigod, and his promotion speed is countless times faster than this. Even so, Tang Xiaofan is still sighing. It's not easy. Tang Xiaofan then opened his personal information. Lord of the castle, Tang Xiaofan, strength, early demigod, castle level, advanced main city, castle arms, farmers, angels, dragon clan, natural elves, light arms, pure-blooded dwarves, castle buildings, farmer factory, elf mother tree, light monastery, holy light temple, faith altar, equipment, blessing of natural elves, soul stones. 1,120,578. Now I'm also a demigod. Mastered the power of the law. Because my previous 21st level domain contained 4 effects, in terms of the power of the law alone, Olivia is probably not as good as me. Thinking of this, Tang Xiaofan smiled suddenly. Then, his mind moved, and in an instant, 8 figures appeared out of thin air on the wall of Cloud Sky City. They were the 8 demigods under his command: Olivia, Zan Yi, Zan Tigger, Zan 12, Zan 27, the guide, and the great elf Monica. 8 demigods, 6 warriors, and 2 elves. All of them are powerful and loyal. Zan Yi said respectfully, "Congratulations to the Almighty Lord for being promoted to the realm of demigod." Yes, Tang Xiaofan smiled and nodded. Then he said, "The castle has been caught in a war, and the enemy army is even larger. That is the main battlefield. Monica, Zanurshiki, you stay here, and help the castle army eliminate the enemy. Others, follow me back to the castle." Eliminate those castle lords driven by desire. Yes, almighty Lord. Everyone saluted respectfully. Then Monica and Xenoshiki left the Sky City and descended on the battlefield below the dragon's nest with the power of demigods. Tang Xiaofan, with 6 demigods, activated the war fortress, and the skyless city flew towards the castle at a high speed. He didn't know that with the emergence of war, the entire world chat channel was boiling. There are too many castle lords participating in this war. The major alliances combined have at least 200 people. Naturally, there will be castle lords who will send the situation of the war to the world chat channel. For a time, it also attracted the attention of countless castle lords and wanderers. After all, this can be said to be the largest castle war so far. The scale of the Anti-Demon Alliance's expedition to the Black Technology Castle, which caused a lot of discussion at the time, is completely incomparable to this alliance war. It is more appropriate to describe it as one in the sky and the other on the ground. The Anti-Demon Alliance, that went on the expedition to the Black Technology Castle at the time, had only dozens of castle lords, and the total number of castle troops led by them did not exceed 100,000. And this time, several major alliances have united to form a super large alliance group. The number of castle lords participating in the war is nearly 200. The scale of the castle troops is almost as high as 1 million. In comparison, the Anti-Demon Alliance at the time was really nothing. This war is the real battle of the century, enough to be recorded in the development history of the castle forces. The Melon-Eating War has begun. However, it is not a million-strong army besieging the Black Technology Castle, but it is divided into 2 battlefields. The reason is that boss Tang Xiaofan sent the castle army to attack the dragon's nest. I heard that the major alliances are divided into a main and a secondary battlefield, and the secondary battlefield is handed over to the God-Destroying Alliance and the God-Slaying Alliance. Together, 200,000 troops are used to intercept boss Tang Xiaofan's castle army. The main battlefield is led by the Alliance of Gods, the Alliance of God-Slaying Alliance and other alliances. A total of 800,000 troops besiege the Black Technology Castle. Besiege the Black Technology Castle. Besiege the Black Technology Castle. Hiss. This scale is simply too terrifying. I don't know if boss Tang Xiaofan can resist it. Dangerous. After all, it's 1 million troops. Even if there are 1 million people there, boss Tang Xiaofan's troops will kill them, and they will be killed to a pulp. Not to mention that it is 1 million castle troops. Except for the generally weaker strength of the troops, the Alliance army has advantages in other aspects. I'm afraid that boss Tang Xiaofan is finished this time. Many castle lords and wanderers have no hope for Tang Xiaofan. After all, the size of the Alliance army is too large. Not to mention attacking a castle force. Even attacking a city in the central region of the local empire is probably enough. It's nothing more than the overall strength of the army is a little weak, but the key is the number. Who can stop 1 million scale army? Not even Tang Xiaofan's demon army can do it. But at this moment, new news was transmitted to the world chat channel. Big revelation. The Alliance army on the Dragon Nest battlefield has fallen into a state of collapse. In a short period of time, 100,000 soldiers were slaughtered by the castle army of the big brother Tang Xiaofan. The castle lords of the God-Destroying Alliance and the God-Slaying Alliance were killed to the point of being cold all over. How is this possible? Are Tang Xiaofan's castle troops so powerful? It seems that less than an hour after the war started, hundreds of thousands of troops were slaughtered. Is this true? Faced with such doubts, some castle lords who participated in the Dragon Nest war urgently spoke out. Damn it. The people on the Dragon Nest are almost going crazy. No one thought that Tang Xiaofan's castle troops were so powerful. Now Tang Xiaofan has hundreds of level 21 strongmen and thousands of level 20 troops under his command. Tang Xiaofan even broke up his army and dispersed it into hundreds of hunting teams led by level 21 strongmen. Once the domain world was released, they were simply killing people in all directions. Compared to Tang Xiaofan's troops, our troops are too weak. Tang Xiaofan's castle army has conquered the Dragon's Nest, slaughtered thousands of dragons, and subdued more than 2,000 dragons. Now, those dragons have also joined the battlefield and are frantically attacking our alliance army. My troops were killed completely. Same for me. More than 300 swift eagles were instantly wiped out by Tang Xiaofan's Iron Demon. Did the dragon's nest surrender so quickly? Tang Xiaofan actually has so many Iron Demons? Are the most powerful troops under his command demons? I envy Tang Xiaofan. I just want to know if there will be a castle lord who will catch Tang Xiaofan's Iron Demon. Catch him? That's courting death. The combat power of the Iron Demon is not inferior to that of a demigod. Didn't the news say that Tang Xiaofan only has one demigod elf? How come another demigod appeared? Chapter 379, The Insurmountable Defense Line of the Black Technology Castle. This news is outdated. The development speed of the Black Technology Castle is too terrifying. It has captured several dynasty level forces. Now it has even captured the dragon's nest and captured a large number of dragons. Tang Xiaofan's demon strength has increased super fast. Not to mention capturing Tang Xiaofan's demons and elves. It is even a question whether the castle lord on the battlefield can leave the dragon's nest alive. The army camps of the God-Destroying Alliance and the God-Slaying Alliance have completely collapsed. I'm already evacuating. The same for me. The difference in strength is too big. We are not opponents at all. Tang Xiaofan's demigod has joined the battlefield. The two demigods took action, which was extremely terrifying. Not only the troops, but also the castle lords suffered heavy casualties. Some people thought that it would be fine if they hid behind the battlefield, but in the end, they were directly taken away by a wave. At least a lot of castle lords died. Hiss. Not long after, another castle lord spoke in fear. They were also from the battlefield of the Dragon's Nest. Belonging to the members of the God-Destroying Alliance and the God-Slaying Alliance, you can't run away. The demons under Tang Xiaofan's command have completely destroyed the castle and space teleportation array we built on the battlefield, cutting off our way of retreat. Tang Xiaofan is going to kill us all. We are the lords of the castle, not the soldiers. Why is Tang Xiaofan so cruel to us? Now there are castle lords behind the battlefield, killing anyone they see without mercy, even if they lay down their weapons and beg for mercy. Tang Xiaofan has gone crazy. Not only did he kill our castle soldiers, he also wanted to kill us too. We are castle lords like him. Tang Xiaofan is simply insane. Seeing this information, many castle lords immediately fought back. When you gathered hundreds of castle lords and millions of troops to besiege the Black Technology Castle, why didn't you say that you were crazy? What if the winner is you who let go of Tang Xiaofan, the angels and elves? It's really funny. Support Tang Xiaofan. Kill all the castle soldiers and castle lords of the major alliances, and see if you are still arrogant. Someone has to raise the butcher knife to let some castle lords who can't stand other success know what the price and fear are. Since you choose to besiege the Black Technology Castle, you must be prepared to be killed. Many castle lords in the neutral camp were angrily scolding members of the major alliances. This made the World Chat channel particularly hot. At the same time, the internal groups of the major alliances also exploded because the progress of this war was beyond their expectations. Although the war has not ended yet, the major alliances still have 800,000 troops besieging the Black Technology Castle. However, it seems that the flag of victory did not appear in their army camps. Instead, Tang Xiaofan's castle army was killing people everywhere. The 200,000 strong army of the God-Destroying Alliance and the God-Slaughtering Alliance collapsed, and the sky and the ground were filled with soldiers and their masters fleeing everywhere. Their human wave tactics seemed to be completely useless when facing demigods, level 21, and level 20 warriors. Take Monica, the great elf who had just been promoted to the demigod level, for example. She stood alone at an altitude of 10,000 meters. A forbidden spell of the natural elf clan was thrown down, and tens of thousands of soldiers were torn into pieces. In the violent energy storm, no soldier could resist. As the forbidden spell level magic raged, a large area was cleared in an instant. The soldiers and castle masters in the area did not even feel the pain. Under the cutting of the energy storm, their bodies could not be preserved. The domain of the level 21 warriors was also a deadly place wherever it covered. If they were killed one by one, Tang Xiaofan soldiers, elves and other soldiers would definitely be exhausted to death. But the key is that they all mastered a large range of offensive abilities and magic. including those Phoenix guards. The dragons can also spit out the sun's true fire and dragon breath, causing huge casualties to the Alliance army. The Alliance army's numerical advantage, when facing Tang Xiaofan's troops, could not be brought into play at all. Because of this, the army camps of the God-destroying Alliance and the God-slaying Alliance collapsed so quickly. The troops have loyalty and can be fearless, but the castle lords are different. Zan 27 swept through with a demigod level, directly killing thousands of troops and more than a dozen castle lords. Which castle lord is not afraid? Even those top castle lords and the top leaders of the two alliances were frightened by Tang Xiaofan's powerful troops. They fled the battlefield without looking back. As for the treasure of the dragon's nest, you have to live to get it. Damn it. We were tricked by the alliance of gods. Tang Xiaofan didn't even come here. Killing Tang Xiaofan and exploding his godhood is a dream. Retreat, retreat, retreat. Tang Xiaofan's demons are too terrifying. We are no match for them at all. If we don't retreat, we will die too. The castle and teleportation array in the dense forest were all destroyed by Tang Xiaofan's demons. Where should we retreat? Is Tang Xiaofan going to kill us all? Does anyone carry the heart of the castle with them? Did you bring it? I thought this war could be won, so I didn't dismantle the heart of the castle to avoid wasting resources. So, very good, me too. The heart of the castle cannot be simply taken down. Once the heart of the castle is removed, all the buildings in the castle will become non-tradable blueprints. After rebuilding the castle, all the buildings have to be upgraded again, which will naturally waste a lot of resources. Therefore, no castle lord will casually demolish his own castle heart. Moreover, even in the God-destroying alliance and the God-slaying alliance, if a castle lord brings his own castle heart, it will be difficult for him to escape. Because at an altitude of thousands of meters, there are always warriors patrolling all around. Whenever there are castles and teleportation arrays in the surrounding areas, they will immediately take action and destroy them. This is an order from Xinyi, and the purpose is very simple, which is to kill all the castle lords who invaded the forest. Can the lord's territory come and go as he pleases? This can also be seen from this point. Farmers are a race that combines hard work and cruelty. The hard work of farmers can only be barely matched by dwarves. As for their cruelty, the farmers were more ruthless than any other race in killing heretics. It was no exaggeration to say that they had no mercy. Even the Terminator Guide, War 1 and War 2 were merciless when facing the enemies who invaded the Lord's domain. Killing is salvation. Death is eternal life. This is what the Lord said. Compared with the battlefield of Dragon's Nest, the scale of the war in the Black Technology Castle was even larger. There were hundreds of castle lords leading about 800,000 castle troops, besieging Tang Xiaofan's Black Technology Castle. Whether in the sky or on the ground, there were densely packed castle troops. But relatively speaking, their situation was much better. Because there were no level 21 or 20 troops in the Black Technology Castle. All the powerful troops were taken to Dragon's Nest by Tang Xiaofan. Most of the troops left in the Black Technology Castle were below level 20. However, even so, it was not easy for the Alliance army to attack the Black Technology Castle. Because as early as when he received the news that the castle was attacked, Tang Xiaofan contacted Olivia and asked her to use her original body, the Elf Mother Tree, to release a powerful magic defense shield to cover the entire Black Technology Castle. Chapter 380, The Desperate Black Technology Castle Wall. Tens of thousands of meters in the sky. Circling are tens of millions of flying soldiers from various alliances. They are all circling outside the magic defense shield and dare not approach. On the ground, there are tens of millions of land soldiers, isolated outside the city wall, that is hundreds of meters high. Even the moat of the Black Technology Castle has blocked a large number of enemies. The water in the moat is not ordinary river water. Once an enemy falls into the river, he will sink to the bottom quickly, unable to climb up, and will be drowned directly. Of course, the most powerful weapon to stop the enemy is the close-in defense gun on the city wall. Fully automatic close-in defense gun, unlimited ammunition, firing rate of more than 3,000 rounds per second. Even a tank can't stand it for a second. As soon as these Alliance soldiers approached the Black Technology Castle, they were immediately torn into blood mist, and none of them were spared. Damn it. I just can't understand it. What level is Tang Xiaofan's black technology castle? Why is the wall of my primary main city less than 100 meters, while his wall is 300 to 400 meters high? It must be a high level main city. It's impossible for an intermediate main city to have a wall of this scale. And what is that cannon? It's impossible to get close to it. How can we fight it? Tang Xiaofan's development speed is more than 10 times faster than ours. It's terrible. I just want to ask a question. How to break the wall that is hundreds of meters high? I also want to ask a question. How to get close to the wall? That cannon is too sharp. I heard that someone in our alliance has built a magic cannon. Pull it over quickly. It's just a small magic cannon. It's useless. At this time, on the wall of the black technology castle, a group of dazzling lights shone. Then huge beams of light shot out and directly hit the alliance army at the city. In an instant, a rumbling sound rang out, like a thunderclap. At the same time, huge mushroom clouds appeared and filled the sky above the Alliance army. The entire battlefield was silent, and a moment later the Alliance army was in chaos again. Many castle lords were so scared that they retreated quickly, not daring to approach the walls of the black technology castle. Fuck. There are magic cannons on the walls of the black technology castle, and there are thousands of them. Crazy. Where did Tang Xiaofan get so many resources? Tang Xiaofan has captured so many dynasty level forces, and he has so many resources that he has upgraded his castles to high level main cities. What's the point of building a few thousand magic cannons? You really are a toad yawning with such a big tone. That's thousands of magic cannons. In one round of bombardment, my alliance army lost tens of thousands of soldiers. If you come a few more times, the army camp will collapse directly. Before the castle lords on the battlefield could get over the shock, a dense rain of arrows appeared on the walls of the black technology castle, numbering hundreds of thousands. With each rain of arrows, a large number of castle soldiers were shot and killed. After a few rounds, the alliance army lost tens of thousands of soldiers. Then, the magic cannons on the city wall were fully charged, and a new round of bombardment began, causing even greater casualties to the alliance army. Fuck. Why do I feel like we are not attacking the castle forces at all, but more like attacking the giant city of the local empire? Such a defensive force is too fucking terrifying. Aren't all Tang Xiaofan's castle troops dispatched to attack the dragon's nest? Who is controlling those magic cannons, giant crossbows, arrow towers, and crossbow camps? My flying troops discovered in the sky that there are still a large number of humans in the Black Tech Castle, as many as tens of thousands. The population of the Black Tech Castle is probably as high as 100,000. These humans were forcibly abducted by Tang Xiaofan. 100,000 troops. Damn. Crazy. Shocking news. Someone has passed through the defense shield and discovered 3 military buildings. 3 military buildings. How is it possible? Nothing is impossible. In addition to the demon factory, Tang Xiaofan also has the Monastery of Light. Oh my god. You don't know until you come. You'll be shocked. Tang Xiaofan alone has 3 military buildings, and they are all top level military buildings. The number of troops he can recruit every day is top notch. Tang Xiaofan's strength and potential are too terrifying. If we don't destroy his black technology castle, even the top castle masters like us will have no chance to survive. In the 10,000 races tournament, we can't beat him at all. Don't talk nonsense. Hurry up and order the army to continue the attack. If you are a step later, Tang Xiaofan's castle army will come back. The 2 garbage alliances of destroying God and Tushen can't stop them in less than an hour. Kill. Charge. As the orders were passed down one after another, tens of millions of troops from the major alliances attacked the black technology castle again. There were still dense flying arms in the sky, forcibly attacking the defensive magic shield arranged by the elf mother tree. They ignored the strong killing of the close defense artillery and wanted to risk their lives to attack the magic shield. They had only one purpose, which was to destroy the defensive magic shield and kill into Tang Xiaofan's black technology castle. As long as the heart of the castle was destroyed by them, it would be too late. Even if Tang Xiaofan led the castle army back, and they would have achieved one of the goals of this war. Outside the black technology castle, Hundreds of thousands of troops from the Alliance of Gods, the Alliance of God Killers, the Alliance of God Slayers, and the Alliance of God Choosing were also frantically attacking the walls of the Black Technology Castle. They even moved the magic cannons in the rear castle. Hundreds of magic cannons were lined up and bombarded the walls of the Black Technology Castle. Unfortunately, they could not get too close to the attack of the close defense cannons and could only attack from a distance. However, it was almost impossible to destroy the walls of the high-level main city with these small magic cannons. After all, it was not easy for even a 21st level warrior to destroy the walls of the Black Technology Castle. What's more, it was just a small magic cannon. In fact, the power of the magic cannons on the God and Demon continent was far lower than that on the Sky City. They were all small magic cannons. The small magic cannons installed on the Sky City were enough to kill a 21st level warrior, but the small magic cannons on the God and Demon continent were not good enough and could only kill a 20th level warrior at most. The reason for the huge gap is that the Farmer Clan's magic cannon technology is more advanced. After all, the Sky City is a war fortress of the Farmer Clan to attack the dimensional world, and the magic cannon it is equipped with is naturally powerful, especially the sacred magic cannon, which is powerful enough to kill the true god. I told you it's useless, but you didn't believe it. Hundreds of small magic cannons fired at the same time, but they didn't even knock down the wall of the Black Tech Castle. Instead, they wasted a lot of soul stones. It's useless, but we have to try. Now, we must try every possible way to break through the wall defense of the Black Tech Castle, or destroy the magic defense shield and break into the Black Tech Castle. The defense of the Black Tech Castle is too damn strong. It's harder to chew than a turtle shell. What should we do now? The flying army in the sky can't destroy the magic defense shield, and the soldiers on land can't break through the wall of the Black Tech Castle. No one thought that Tang Xiaofan had upgraded the Black Tech Castle to an advanced main city. The defense value of his wall is terrifyingly high. Chapter 381 Brother, which alliance are you from? I have never seen you before. And his close defense gun is so powerful. It's impossible to get close. It would be great if we had a demigod too. As long as there is a demigod, both the wall of the Black Technology Castle and the magic defense shield can be broken. Don't even think about it. Demigod level troops, wait another month. In fact, it doesn't take that long. As long as we have the power to capture the dynasty level forces, the strength of the troops can be quickly improved through war. Didn't Tang Xiaofan's demigod angel come in the same way? Don't talk nonsense. Let's think about how to break through the defense of the Black Technology Castle. If we delay any further, when Tang Xiaofan's castle army and demigod return, our chances will be even smaller. At the back of the battlefield, a group of top castle lords gathered, hundreds of them. The top troops under them were attacking the Black Technology Castle in the front, while they themselves retreated to the back. After all, the castle lords cherish their lives. Without a foolproof plan, they will not go to the battlefield in person. If they were killed by the close defense guns of the Black Technology Castle, or shot by an arrow, they would lose a lot. Most of these top-level castle lords are high-level members of the major alliances. At this moment, they are discussing how to capture the Black Technology Castle. They originally thought that their 800,000 troops would be enough to rush into the Black Technology Castle in an instant, and even if they encountered resistance, they could destroy all the enemies that blocked them like a rotten wood. Even if the demigods of the Black Technology Castle took action, they could only block a part of the army at most. The rest of the troops could take advantage of the chaos to attack and forcibly destroy Tang Xiaofan's castle heart, making Tang Xiaofan lose his status as the lord of the castle. What was the result? After attacking for nearly half an hour, they couldn't even break the walls of the Black Technology Castle. 800,000 troops were isolated outside the Black Technology Castle, and none of them could get in. If they couldn't even get into the castle, how could they destroy Tang Xiaofan's castle heart? This gave them a headache. At this time, a top castle lord from the Alliance of Gods said, "Gather all the level 20 and 21 warriors in our army together. Don't pay attention to the walls of the Black Technology Castle, that thing is too hard. Concentrate on attacking the defenses and magic shields covering the Black Technology Castle. Break the surface with a point. I believe that, as long as the number of attacks is sufficient and the frequency is fast enough, even the defensive magic shield arranged by the demigod will not be able to withstand it. Makes sense. By the way, how many level 20 and 21 soldiers do we have in our army? I counted before the war. There are very few level 21 soldiers in the coalition, but there are more than 800 and nearly 1000 level 20 soldiers. So many level 20 soldiers? Not at all. After all, the base number of our castle lords is there. Apart from the god destroying alliance and the god slaughtering alliance, we also have hundreds of alliance members. On average, basically every 3 castle lords have 1 level 20 soldier. Is that too much? Well, it's indeed too few. No way. Do you think everyone has as many level 21 troops and thousands of level 20 troops as Tang Xiaofan? Just do it this way, said a young man in a golden robe. Concentrate the army, all the level 21 troops and level 20 troops. Attack the castle's defensive magic shield. Break the shield as quickly as possible. Charge into the black technology castle. Okay. The leaders of the major alliances gave orders one after another, and soon dozens of level 21 troops and more than 800 level 20 troops gathered above the black technology castle. Around them, there were tens of thousands of flying troops. Next, the flying troops will cooperate with the level 21 and level 20 troops of the Alliance army to attack at the same time and concentrate on attacking the defensive magic shield of the black technology castle. They will concentrate their strength on a point and shatter the shield in an instant. There are no soldiers protecting Tang Xiaofan's castle. Add to that nearly 20,000 flying soldiers. With all the forces concentrated together, we can definitely destroy the shield directly. Although the strength of those flying soldiers is not strong, they are generally below level 20, and there are even level 4 and 6 soldiers. However, there are so many of them. Even a demigod cannot resist so many soldiers attacking at the same time. Not to mention, it's just one round of shields. Go. Victory belongs to our angel destroying alliance. When the order was issued, all the soldiers in the sky gathered their strength and finally attacked at the same time, bombarding the defensive magic shield with the most powerful force, accompanied by a rumbling sound. The defensive magic shield covering the entire black technology castle began to tremble. There was endless light moving again, as if it would collapse at any time. It works. This way, we can exert the most powerful destructive power. Looking at this situation, at most 2 more times, the defensive magic shield will collapse. Behind the battlefield, the top castle masters of the major alliances were all overjoyed. At this time, a beautiful young man in the crowd said, "It will be broken soon. But, be careful of a problem." "What problem?" a castle lord asked in confusion. The young man smiled and said, "In that defensive magic shield, there is the power of the demigod law. When it is attacked, there will be appropriate energy rebound." Before he finished speaking, the defensive magic shield above the black technology castle shone again. Then, it seemed that a terrifying energy swept through. The bodies of the closest group of flying soldiers instantly shattered into a blood mist. Even some level 20 and 21 soldiers could not resist and floated in the sky. With just this one strike, thousands of soldiers fell. Fuck. It can actually bounce back. Damn it. Why is the defense arranged by Tang Xiaofan so disgusting? Damn it. I received a message reminding me that I lost 3 level 20 soldiers. 3 level 20 soldiers are shit. I directly lost a level 21 soldier. What a loss. It's a loss. Just keep attacking. Some top castle lords shouted, and some looked at the handsome young man. "Brother, how do you know so clearly?" Some people expressed dissatisfaction and said, "If you had told me earlier, my soldiers would not have died." That's right. Remember to speak up in advance next time, so that we can prepare early. Some top castle lords who lost powerful soldiers were a little angry, blaming the young man for not reminding them first. The young man smiled and said, "Okay, I'll tell you in advance next time." At this time, a castle lord suddenly looked at him in confusion and asked, "Brother, which alliance's top castle lord are you from? I feel like I've never seen you before." As soon as this was said, the top castle lords around him also looked over. Their eyes fell on the young man, and they shook their heads at the same time, indicating that they had never seen this overly handsome young man before. brother, especially this set of equipment. It's definitely level 20 magic equipment, and it may be a suit. Some top castle lords looked at the silver suit on the young man with envy. The young man smiled and said, "This is not level 20 equipment, but a holy weapon suit. It not only adds to charm, but also adds to luck." Fuck. Awesome. Sacred weapon suit, a top castle lord said jealously. "I haven't exploded level 21 equipment until now, and even level 20 equipment is rare. You actually have a holy weapon suit." Chapter 382. Killing the lord of the castle is like stomping on an ant. This is such good luck. I have to admit, brother, you must be very strong. A top castle lord asked curiously. The young man smiled and said, "I have many types of soldiers, including angels, elves, humans, and demons." The top castle lords around him were stunned. "Isn't the demon the only type of soldier? Brother, don't joke." "I never joke." The young man looked serious and exuded a convincing aura. In the blink of an eye, the world was silent, and the air seemed to freeze. Finally, a top castle lord reacted. His eyes widened, and he retreated dozens of steps, pointing at the young man with one hand, and was so frightened that he couldn't say a word. The other top castle lords also understood, and flew back instantly. Soon, with the young man as the center, there was no one within 100 meters around. Many top-level castle lords were stunned. Their faces were pale green. You are Tang Xiaofan? How come you are here?" All the top castle lords expressed disbelief. It was like seeing a ghost. Just now they were discussing how to attack the black technology castle, but the owner of the castle appeared in their team without a sound. If Tang Xiaofan hadn't spoken up, they wouldn't have noticed it. Of course, this is normal. After all, there are hundreds of top castle lords from the major alliances present, and basically none of them have metaflying. This time, during the siege of the Black Technology Castle, many of their high-level officials also met each other for the first time. Naturally, it is reasonable not to know other people. What's more, there are rumors outside that Tang Xiaofan has 3 heads and 6 bodies and a snake tail behind him. This is obviously nonsense. Except for the little lolly in the underground world, no one has ever seen Tang Xiaofan. It was normal that they didn't recognize Tang Xiaofan. Besides, no one would have thought that it was too unexpected. Facing a group of dumbfounded top castle lords, Tang Xiaofan was quite calm. There was always a faint smile on his handsome face. It's true that among the hundreds of top castle lords present, there was really no one who could be more handsome than Tang Xiaofan. Tang Xiaofan smiled and said, "Didn't we chat well just now? To be honest, since I came to the God and Demon continent, this is the first time I have seen so many top castle lords. I'm very happy to have a friendly exchange with you." The top castle lords present were all confused. What a happy ghost. They were almost scared to pee. At this time, a top castle lord roared, "You are looking for death yourself. Don't blame us. Do it. Kill Tang Xiaofan and explode the godhood." The other top castle lords also had red eyes, and they only reacted at this time. Killing Tang Xiaofan will definitely explode his godhood. Kill. Without a second word, dozens of top castle lords immediately joined forces to kill Tang Xiaofan. It was as if they were afraid that, if they were a step late, their godhood would be snatched away by others. "Didn't we have a pleasant chat just now?" As he spoke, Tang Xiaofan waved his right hand, and all the magic and combat skills flying towards him were instantly shattered into the most primitive magic power. Even the dozens of top castle lords who took the lead were directly exploded into a ball of blood mist, and died miserably. Seeing this scene, the other top castle lords who were about to take action, and Tang Xiaofan frowned slightly. He said to himself, "I have just been promoted to demigod, and I can't control my strength. I still have to use more. Fuck." A top castle lord heard this, and immediately turned around and ran away. "Demigod? What's the point of playing this? The right way is to quickly escape back to your own castle." But there are also top level castle lords who don't believe it, and at the same time they are reluctant to give up this once in a lifetime opportunity. The real master Tang Xiaofan was right in front of him. If the godhead didn't explode now, when would it explode? However, they were not stupid. After all, they did not do it themselves. Instead, they called back the castle legions on the battlefield to besiege Tang Xiaofan. golden behemoth, flame dragon, naga, dark dragon, elf dragon, death knight, paladin, sky sword earth, snow monster, eternal treeman guard, bone dragon, and so on. All of them were top level soldiers, and the weakest were elite. The strongest reached level 20 in 21. Kill him. Come together. Don't let him run away. After killing Tang Xiaofan, whoever grabs the exploded godhead will own it. Kill. Amid the roars of many top level castle lords, tens of thousands of top level soldiers surrounded Tang Xiaofan. Before they got close, terrifying magics descended on Tang Xiaofan's head. It seemed that they wanted to kill Tang Xiaofan with one blow. Facing tens of thousands of top level soldiers, Tang Xiaofan still had a calm expression. As a demigod, he not only possessed a demigod body, but also had the power of law to protect his body. Even if he stood still, these top level soldiers would not be able to hurt him at all. However, he did not really stand still. He stretched out his right hand and grabbed the air. In an instant, all the top level soldiers besieging him exploded. This is a demigod. He can mobilize the magic power of heaven and earth at will, and with the power of law, he can exert an extremely terrifying destructive power. With Tang Xiaofan's current strength, he can blow up a 1,000-meter high mountain with a casual punch. He can flatten a large lake with a flip of his hand. What are tens of thousands of top level soldiers, the highest of which is only at the early stage of level 21. If he mastered the magic of angels, or the forbidden spell level magic like Monica Chengfang, he could also kill tens of thousands of soldiers at once. Bang 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 bang. With a series of explosions, tens of thousands of top level soldiers were all blown into blood mist, and a large number of soul stones and even blueprints exploded on the spot. Seeing this scene, the top castle lords on the periphery were so scared that they all ran away. At this point, how could they still have a lucky mentality? Tens of thousands of top level soldiers were killed in seconds, and they would have the same result if they went up. Retreat, retreat, retreat. Damn. Why didn't anyone tell me that Tang Xiaofan was promoted to demigod? Who the hell is going to tell you? No one knows that he was promoted to demigod, except Tang Xiaofan himself. I always thought that Tang Xiaofan was at most level 21. Who would have thought that he had actually been promoted to the realm of demigod, which is a powerful existence second only to gods? Is this the lord of the strongest castle? Too horrible. If this gets out, no one will believe it. Tang Xiaofan has become a demigod in just 1 month. If he is given another month, he will become a god directly. By then, he won't even need that godhood. Tang Xiaofan's promotion speed is terrifying to the extreme. Even Tang Xiaofan has been promoted to demigod. How powerful are the troops under his command? He has more than 1 or 2 demigod troops. There must be more. This war has been a mistake from the beginning. Brother Huo, help me. Save you. Who will save me? Run. As long as we escape back to the castle, we will have a chance to make a comeback. By then, we will never fail so easily. Chapter 383. Don't do it. We don't want to die yet. Boom. Suddenly, a terrifying force swept over. Hundreds of top castle lords were all suppressed, and none of them escaped. The war did not stop, but became more intense. More than hundreds of thousands of soldiers from major alliances attacked the Black Technology Castle non-stop. In the sky, tens of thousands of flying soldiers were attacking the defensive magic shield arranged by the Elf Mother Tree. On the ground, hundreds of thousands of land soldiers were besieging the walls of the Black Technology Castle. Powerful magic and combat skills shone throughout the world. And there were also the roars of artillery. Not only the magic cannons of the Alliance army were bombarding, but also the close defense cannons on the walls were bombarding the camp of the Alliance army. Compared with those castle lords, the castle soldiers were really fearless. With their loyalty improved, they did not retreat, even if they were seriously injured. Instead, they roared and attacked the walls of the Black Technology Castle crazily. Loyalty is faith, death is honor. The soldiers did not retreat a step. Even though they knew that the road ahead was the abyss of death, they still jumped down without hesitation. Looking down from the sky, the walls of the Black Technology Castle were densely packed with soldiers of the Alliance army, like a sea. Countless magic and combat skills flew towards the walls at all times. The walls were shaking constantly. However, their strength was too weak. Of course, it can also be said that the defense value of the walls was too high. Despite the siege of hundreds of thousands of soldiers and the bombardment of a large number of magic cannons, some castle lords even brought their own giant crossbows. But the walls of the Black Technology Castle still stood tall. This wall, which was hundreds of meters high, was like an indestructible great wall to the castle lords of the Tay Alliance. No matter how their soldiers attacked, there was no sign of collapse. This made many castle lords gnash their teeth in hatred, and at the same time, felt like crying without tears. What the hell? We can't even penetrate the city wall. What's the point of this? The city gate is the same. It's impenetrable. What the hell? The city gate has a higher defense value, and it seems to be made of special metal that can resist magic attacks. Any magic will be useless on it. What can we do? If we delay any longer, Tang Xiaofan will return with his castle army. Hurry up and ask the boss. Where are the boss and the others? They were just chatting in the group, and in the blink of an eye, they disappeared. What the hell? Gone. What's gone? The boss is gone. The avatar in the chat group disappeared, which means my boss is dead. And it's not just one boss, several bosses are gone. Some level 1 castle lords are missing too. Which alliance are you from? Alliance of Chosen Gods. Hurry and see if your boss is there. I suspect the headquarters of the rear command center has been wiped out. Otherwise, how could they all die? At this moment, above the Black Technology Castle, the huge defensive magic shield began to vibrate violently, and the energy fluctuations released were also much weaker than before, as if it could be broken at any time. The sharp-eyed lord of the castle saw this scene, and shouted in ecstasy, who cares if they are the boss or not? Once they die, the architectural drawings of the demon army will be ours. Brothers, work harder. The defensive shield of the Black Technology Castle can no longer hold on. Break it open in one go, kill into the castle, and destroy Tang Xiaofan's castle heart. Tang Xiaofan has 3 military buildings. If we destroy his castle heart, we might be able to get the drawings of the other 2 military buildings. The Elf Mother Tree and the Monastery of Light are both top level military buildings. Kill, kill, kill. The boss is gone, and the fruits of victory belong to us. Attack. Seeing that the magic shield above the Black Technology Castle was about to be breached, the castle lords on the battlefield suddenly became very morale boosted. As for the alliance boss, who cares if he lives or dies? They were already very unhappy that the top castle lords were hiding in the back of the battlefield, and now it seems that their base camp has been stolen, and the second level castle lords have suffered heavy casualties. They deserve it. It's best if those guys die. Maybe in this way, those castle lords who are not top level castle lords may be able to take over and become the alliance boss. Brothers, the blueprints and the resources of the Black Technology Castle are all ours. Kill. Countless castle lords roared on the battlefield, commanding their troops to attack the defense shields and walls more frantically. For them, victory is just around the corner. Retreat is definitely not an option. They have to fight to the end and destroy the Black Technology Castle. Otherwise, wouldn't they have come here in vain? In the rear of the battlefield, hundreds of top castle lords were suppressed by a terrifying force. They can be said to be all the core high-level leaders of several alliances. Compared with those ordinary castle lords who want to change their fate, these top castle lords cherish their lives more and dare not get too close to the battlefield, fearing that they will be killed by the magic artillery of the Black Technology Castle. So they set up their base camp in the rear of the battlefield. Unless the Black Technology Castle is breached, they will never go deep into the battlefield area. However, they never thought that the castle lords on the other side of the battlefield were fine, but they who were hiding in the rear of the battlefield were killed by Tang Xiaofan. Where can they go to reason? Little did people know that when Tang Xiaofan was in the Sky City, he had a panoramic view of the entire battlefield. He discovered the base camp of these top castle lords. As the saying goes, to catch a thief, you must first catch the leader. Tang Xiaofan was naturally the first to attack them. After all, these top castle lords were too weak, at least compared to him. They were so weak that they could not withstand a single blow. There were hundreds of top level castle lords, and the strongest was only at the level of Bear Grylls, at the early and middle stages of the 21st level, and there were very few of them, only a few. The other top castle lords were all at the 21st level, and he was a demigod. With the power of the laws of demigods, suppressing these top castle lords, who were no more than the 21st level, could be said to be like killing a chicken with a raw knife, and they could be easily killed. In view of this, Tang Xiaofan took action, and vented the negative energy in his heart. No matter who it was, they would feel unhappy if they were instigated by a large number of castle lords to besiege them. Tang Xiaofan was the same. Now, he wanted to kill these top level castle lords with his own hands, to let them know what a wrong decision they made. Don't kill me, Boss Tang Xiaofan, I surrender. I'm willing to give you all the castle resources in exchange for my life. Many top level castle lords screamed in fear. They didn't want to die. Tang Xiaofan walked slowly, and wherever he passed, the top level castle lords nearby exploded into blood mist. This was the power of the law from the demigod. Killing these top level castle lords of level 20 and 21 was as easy as stepping on ants. Seeing this scene, the faces of other top level castle lords turned green. They were extremely terrified. Although they have always called the 10,000 Races tournament a game of games, when playing online games, characters can be resurrected after death. But dying in this game means real death. They don't want to die. Chapter 384 I can still get the artifact if I kill you. They are all top castle lords, with powerful arms that surpass countless castle lords. They have a brilliant future and even have a high probability of becoming immortal gods. If they die here, everything in the future will have nothing to do with them. They lose not only their lives, but also their power, status, and the authority of immortality, and even their sisters will become someone else's sisters. Boss Tang Xiaofan, I was wrong. Let me go. As long as you let me go, I will give you everything I have, and my castle can also become your affiliated force, and I will fight for you in the future. Tang Xiaofan's eyes swept over, and the top castle lord who was crying and begging for mercy exploded instantly. As his eyes swept over, one after another top castle lords followed in his footsteps. There was no pain in death, because their bodies were shattered by the power of the laws of demigods in an instant. Even their souls were purified, and turned into nothingness by the sacred power, contained in the power of the laws. Do you know how to beg for mercy now? Tang Xiaofan looked calmly at the top castle lords with pale faces and terrified eyes, and said in a low voice, when you encouraged those castle lords to besiege me, you claimed to kill me and expose my godhood. At that time, did you ever think that you would end up like this? The top castle lords present were speechless. They naturally did not think that they would be wiped out by Tang Xiaofan. Because they thought they were sure of victory, they were confident that 1,000,000 troops would be enough to easily push down Tang Xiaofan's black technology castle, capture Tang Xiaofan's angels, and the elves would kill Tang Xiaofan and expose his godhood. They were quite confident. They regarded everything Tang Xiaofan had as their own. They had always looked down on the black technology castle with the light of a winner. However, in fact, they overestimated themselves and greatly underestimated the power of the black technology castle. Tang Xiaofan alone suppressed all their top castle lords. Facing Tang Xiaofan who had entered the semi-god realm, they had no power to resist. If they had known this would happen, they would never have appeared here. At this time, a young man in a golden robe took a deep breath and said, Tang Xiaofan, we can solve this matter peacefully. Tang Xiaofan looked at him. Who are you? The young man said, I'm one of the counselors of the Alliance of Gods, the lord of the castle of the Fire Dragon's Nest. I remember you. Tang Xiaofan nodded slightly. In the original Beast Tide event, the Fire Dragon's Nest ranked second in the battle power score list, second only to his black technology castle. This is a very powerful top castle lord, with the top level flaming dragon. He stands at the peak of the castle's heat. At the same time, as a counselor of the Alliance of Gods, he also holds great power. With a casual word, he can mobilize a large-scale alliance army. However, facing Tang Xiaofan, he can't be called powerful. Now, he can only beg for mercy. The young man in the golden robe said, Tang Xiaofan, as long as you let us go, our Alliance of Gods will take you as the leader. Seeing that Tang Xiaofan was indifferent, the young man gritted his teeth and spoke again. "I'll use a magic weapon in exchange for my life." Hearing this, Tang Xiaofan couldn't help showing a surprised expression, and the other castle lords also widened their eyes. Damn it. Why don't you use the magic weapon? In their view, the magic weapon is a thing of the gods, and its power is so strong that it is enough to kill Tang Xiaofan, a demigod. The young man ignored the shocked and angry eyes around him and said, "That was the reward I got for being the second place in the battle power scoreboard of the Beast Tide event. I was lucky enough to draw a divine weapon. But the divine weapon can only be driven by divine power. Just like your godhead cannot be used. Only divine power can open the seal." The young man looked at Tang Xiaofan and said, "As long as you let me go, I will give you the divine weapon. If you kill me, you will never get it. You don't have to worry that I'm lying to you. We can sign a fair agreement that we recognize. I will trade the divine weapon to you when I return to the castle safely." Obviously, what he said was true. He really had the reward from being the second place in the battle power scoreboard. How about it? The young man looked at Tang Xiaofan with confidence. He believed that Tang Xiaofan would not refuse him. After all, it was a divine weapon. It was just one of the hundreds of top castle masters. It was not worth giving up a divine weapon to kill him. Tang Xiaofan smiled and said, "Why are you so confident that I will let you go?" The young man said, "Let me go, and you will get a magic weapon. Kill me, and you will get nothing." However, Tang Xiaofan shook his head and said, "I can still get the magic weapon, even if I kill you." Hearing this, the young man's eyes were flustered, but he soon calmed down. "You can try it," the young man said, "but you will lose a lot." Tang Xiaofan smiled and said, "Just take a look and you will know." Take a look. The young man was puzzled and inexplicably terrified. At this moment, a lonely and cold figure walked out of the void and saluted Tang Xiaofan respectfully. "My lord." This figure was the Terminator guide. Seeing the guide, the lords of the top level castles nearby suddenly showed a horrified expression. "Demon. Tang Xiaofan actually has a demon." Tang Xiaofan ignored them, pointed at the panicked young man and said, "Take out his soul with a divine weapon and see if the divine weapon is on him." "Yes, my lord." The Terminator guide nodded respectfully. He was professional when it came to issues related to the soul field. The young man couldn't hold it anymore and said in horror, "No, you really missed a divine weapon." Before he finished speaking, the Terminator guide grabbed his head through the air and forcibly pulled out an illusory human figure from his body. That was the soul of the young man. Fuck. Do people really have souls? You only know it now. It's worthy of being a legendary demon. This method is too terrifying. It's over. It's over. Brother Huo is dead, and we are probably going to be dead soon. The lords of the top level castles nearby were extremely terrified. The soul could be caught, which was beyond their imagination. Under their gaze, the soul of the young man kept struggling in the hands of the Terminator guide and made miserable cries, which frightened many top castle masters to pale faces. The Terminator guide, however, looked normal. From his stable fingertips, he stretched out his fingers and drilled into the soul of the young man. After a moment, the guide turned to Tang Xiaofan and said, "As expected by the Lord, the artifact is sealed in his body." Tang Xiaofan nodded and said, "Very good. Kill him and extract the artifact." "Yes, sir." The guide pinched the soul of the young man with his fingertips, and it exploded immediately. The soul was extinguished, and the body slowly fell down. Almost at the same time, a golden light flew out of his body. Obviously, that golden light was the artifact. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 385. Tang Xiaofan actually has 3 military buildings. The artifact has spirits, and it doesn't want to be obtained by Tang Xiaofan, so it runs away directly. Don't let it run away. Tang Xiaofan gave an order, and the Terminator guide immediately stepped into the air. At the same time, several figures appeared out of thin air and went to intercept the artifact. Those figures were the 5 demigods including Olivia, Zhang Yi, Zhanna, Tigger and the Great Elf Monica. The 6 demigods worked together to intercept the artifact. If they couldn't intercept it, it could only mean that Tang Xiaofan had no chance to get the artifact. Now, you are the only ones left. Under Tang Xiaofan's gaze, the top castle lords around them suddenly showed despair, because they knew that begging for mercy was useless. Even the castle lord of the Fire Dragon's Nest who tried to use the artifact to exchange for his life was killed, and his soul was directly destroyed. What's the use of their begging for mercy? In fact, Tang Xiaofan didn't intend to let them go. How could he let the tiger go back to the mountain? Although to him, these top castle lords were not tigers at all. As the power of the demigod law swept across, the top castle lords present suddenly turned into a massive blood mist. Tang Xiaofan felt that he was kind to these top castle lords who wanted to kill him and explode his godhood and capture his angels and elves. At least, he gave them a quick death and did not let them feel pain. After hundreds of top castle lords were collectively wiped out, a large number of items also exploded on the ground. The most were equipment. After Tang Xiaofan collected them, he simply checked them and smiled. Among these equipment, a small part was space equipment, only a dozen pieces, and the space was not large, far less than his top grade holy artifact King's Ring. However, each space equipment contained a large number of soul stones, as well as some relatively precious items, such as special metals and drawings. These top castle lords were all rich. Good harvest. Tang Xiaofan was in a good mood. Then he cast his eyes to the battlefield in the distance. Even though the top leaders and top castle lords of the major alliances were all killed, the alliance army still did not stop attacking the Black Technology Castle. On the contrary, the attack became more and more fierce. Because the defensive magic shield covering the Black Technology Castle was already crumbling. The lords of the Zitan Castle on the battlefield were very excited. They didn't pay any attention to it. They were determined to capture the Black Technology Castle and snatch the demon's army building drawings. The time is right. The war on the Dragon's Nest has ended. His castle army is clearing out the remaining alliance troops and a few alliance members who have escaped into the dense forest. Tang Xiaofan immediately issued an order, leaving the dragon army to clear out the remnants and clean up the battlefield to guard the Dragon's Nest treasure. The other castle legions returned to the Black Technology Castle. As Tang Xiaofan's order was passed down, soon, the Black Technology Castle appeared in one piece after another of holy white light. When the white light dissipated, this was the teleportation magic from the angels. Although Tigger was not in the Dragon's Nest, there were still a large number of power angels and energy angels in the angel army. Release the teleportation magic together, and it is easy to teleport the castle army back. After 2 wars, Tang Xiaofan's castle troops have become more powerful, and the morale was high. The demigod realm battled 27th, waving his arms and shouting, "Follow the oracle of the Lord. Clear the heretics who invaded the Lord's domain. Kill." The world chat channel was in turmoil again, and countless castle lords and wanderers were discussing it. Everyone was crazy, shocked and unbelievable about the war that took place in the forest. There is news that the war in the Dragon Nest area is over. The 200,000 castle armies assembled by the God-destroying alliance and the God-slaying alliance were killed, leaving only dozens. 2 demigods from the Black Technology Castle took action and suppressed the entire battlefield with the power of demigod laws. Nearly 90% of the castle lords of the 2 alliances, 60 or 70 in number, were slaughtered. The other castle lords were fleeing in panic. Since there was no teleportation array, they couldn't even return to their own castles. The remaining castle lords hid in the dense forest. Not to mention the castle troops under their command. Even they themselves can't be saved. Even if Tang Xiaofan didn't kill them, they would find it difficult to get out of the forest, let alone return to their castle bases. They are finished. I have a good friend among them, begging me to save him. Crack. How can I save him, when we are a million kilometers apart? Besides, even if my castle is very close to the forest, I won't go there. Tang Xiaofan's castle army swept across the entire forest. Wouldn't it be suicide for me to go there? Those people are finished. If they don't find the teleportation array, they can't escape from the forest. At least, they will be caught and killed by the castle troops of Boss Tang Xiaofan sooner or later. Gone just like that. What a pity. What a pity. They asked for it. If they hadn't been greedy and besieged the dragon nest and Tang Xiaofan's castle army, they wouldn't have ended up like this. You're right. They are paying the price for what they did now. It's their own fault. 1,000,000 troops were destroyed. What a huge experience. The castle troops under boss Tang Xiaofan's command will probably explode in strength again. I'm afraid it's not just more than 500, it may be more than 1,000. Not a possibility, but a certainty. Although the strength of the Alliance Army's troops is not high, there are many of them. With 1,000,000 troops, it would be a simple matter to pile up hundreds or thousands of level 21 warriors. I suspect that the major alliances went there specifically to deliver experience. Obviously, they think that boss Tang Xiaofan's castle forces lack some experience. They are sacrificing themselves to help boss Tang Xiaofan. This is a heroic act. Get rich in one battle. At this time, many castle lords spoke out and exposed the battle situation at the Black Tech Castle. Big revelation. Tang Xiaofan has an advanced main city wall, hundreds of meters high. Tens of millions of troops besieged for nearly an hour, but failed to destroy the wall of the Black Tech Castle. There are demigods guarding the Black Tech Castle. There are 3 military buildings in the Black Tech Castle. I saw it with my own eyes. In the core area of the Black Tech Castle, in addition to the Demon Factory and a large number of special buildings, there are 2 military buildings. 3 military buildings. The Elf Mother Tree and the Monastery of Light are both top-level military buildings. Especially the Elf Mother Tree. The elves bred by it have the growth potential of the late 21st level at least. If you are lucky, you may even breed top-level demigod soldiers, elemental elves, and ancient great elves. Sister Kimeng's Castle Elf Garden has an Elf Mother Tree. The Monastery of Light isn't much worse. The Paladins, Cardinals, and Holy Light Pegasus are all top-level troops at the late 21st level or the peak 21st level. 3 troop buildings are incredible. Tang Xiaofan is too abnormal. Chapter 386. This path to godhood cannot be duplicated. The number of soldiers recruited by Master Tang Xiaofan every day is a terrifying number. No wonder the strength of the Black Technology Castle is so strong. That's not right. Master Tang Xiaofan has too many soldiers. In short, Master Tang Xiaofan is very powerful. All the castle lords and wanderers were stunned. Each castle lord only has one initial soldier building. It is very difficult to get the blueprint of the soldier building by killing the enemy. At this stage, the castle lords who have 2 soldier buildings are definitely a very small minority. But Tang Xiaofan has 3 soldier buildings. The most terrifying thing is that, although the Elf Mother Tree and the Monastery of Light are not as unique as the soldier buildings, but they can also recruit extremely powerful top soldiers. Other castle lords can't even get 1 top soldier building, but Tang Xiaofan has 3. This makes countless castle lords and those wanderers who are forced to change jobs envious. Not to mention the members of the major alliances. Now even they want to destroy the Black Technology Castle and not give Tang Xiaofan a chance to develop. Because with the help of the 3 arms buildings, the longer the time drags on, the stronger Tang Xiaofan's castle will be. In the later stage, it will definitely sweep the world. I'm afraid that only the local empire in the central area can suppress the Black Technology Castle and the throne of the God Lord revealed by the official game. Obviously no castle lord can compete with Tang Xiaofan because Tang Xiaofan's strength is too abnormal. If the Black Technology Castle is not destroyed, hundreds of castle lords will never be able to raise their heads. They will be suppressed by Tang Xiaofan until the end of time. Of course, they are just thinking about it in their hearts. After all, the millions of troops assembled by the major alliances have not been able to destroy Tang Xiaofan's Black Technology Castle so far, but have been directly destroyed. Where do they get the strength to compete with the Black Technology Castle? Can't they form a larger alliance? But the problem is that according to the current development trend of the war, let alone those ordinary castle lords, even the top castle lords dare not go against the Black Technology Castle. The troops of the Black Technology Castle are getting stronger and stronger. Once the million-strong army is destroyed, the number of the 21st level troops under Tang Xiaofan explodes. Who dares to die? At this stage, Tang Xiaofan is invincible. Whoever enters the forest will die. Shocking news. The top leaders of the major alliances and the top castle lords who besieged the Black Technology Castle have been wiped out. According to statistics, more than 600 top castle lords have died, involving major alliances such as the Alliance of Gods, the Alliance of God Slayers, the Alliance of God Killers, and the Alliance of God Killers. It was a bloodbath. Hiss. How is it possible? So many top castle lords died at once. More than 600 top castle lords were collectively wiped out. This is too exaggerated. The news has been confirmed to be true. The internal groups of the top leaders of the major alliances have disappeared, including the Alliance of Gods. 5 of the 8 members of the Alliance of Gods have died, including the Castle Lord of the Fire Dragon's Nest who won the 2nd place in the combat PowerPoints list in the Beast Tide event. Even Brother Huo was killed. Haha, Brother Huo? Who dares to call himself brother in front of Big Brother Tang Xiaofan? Even those hundreds of top castle lords are all younger brothers. I'm not surprised at their annihilation. The Alliance of Gods suffered heavy losses. Forget about the gods. That's Big Brother Tang Xiaofan. Agree. Is the war over at the Black Tech Castle over as well? An army of 800,000 besieged the Black Tech Castle, but was wiped out so quickly? The war is not over yet. There are still a large number of castle lords leading hundreds of thousands of troops to attack the Black Tech Castle. It seems that the demigod level defensive magic shield of the Black Tech Castle can no longer hold up. This is still normal. I'm very curious about how the high level officials and top castle lords of the major alliances were wiped out. Were they so bravely rushed to the front of the battlefield and were collectively killed instantly? Brave as hell. They all hid in the rear of the battlefield and commanded the army remotely. They thought they were safe, but Big Brother Tang Xiaofan personally took action and killed them all. It seems that they had no power to resist at all. Hundreds of top castle lords were wiped out. Is Big Brother Tang Xiaofan so powerful? The castle lords at the front have sent back news that Big Brother Tang Xiaofan has been promoted to demigod. He used the power of the demigod law to suppress hundreds of top castle lords in one move. Demigod? This is a joke. Fuck. Tang Xiaofan is simply invincible. Demigod exists. Even if Tang Xiaofan doesn't become a god, he can live for thousands of years. Unbelievable. In just 1 month, Tang Xiaofan was promoted to demigod. Even God is not so awesome. Tang Xiaofan is the lord that the demons believe in. Isn't he God? Tang Xiaofan is too strong. I haven't even reached level 20, but Tang Xiaofan has already been promoted to demigod. The gap is too big. The title of the strongest castle lord is not a joke. In fact, it's normal. Tang Xiaofan's castle army swept the entire forest, captured multiple dynasty level forces, suppressed the dragon's nest, and killed countless enemies at level 20 and 21. Such a huge amount of experience points is enough to raise Tang Xiaofan's level to the demigod level. If we also have the strength to capture dynasty level forces, it would be easy to be promoted to demigod. After all, we are the lords of the castle and are not bound by realms. Easier said than done. There are only a few dynasty level forces in a region. Do you think that everywhere is dominated by one person like in the forest? There are at least a dozen castle lords in a region, and at most dozens or even hundreds. There are not enough monsters in the wild, let alone dynasty level forces. Tang Xiaofan's promotion to demigod is completely due to the right time, right place, and right people. Such a promotion path cannot be copied. Today can be said to be the most lively day in history except for the Beast Tide event. In the World Chat channel, shocking revelations came one after another, feeding hundreds of onlookers. In addition to the World Chat channel, the internal affairs of the major alliances are also in chaos. Several alliances headed by the Alliance of Gods have assembled millions of troops, but they have not been able to capture the Black Technology Castle until now. Instead, they have been slaughtered crazily by the army of the Black Technology Castle. Even the high-level officials and top castle lords of several alliances were wiped out by Tang Xiaofan with the power of demigod. It has to be said that it is really miserable. Kill. On the battlefield outside the city wall, countless voices were roaring, not only from the soldiers' shouts of killing, but also from the castle lords' roar. They were all very excited. Even those beast-type soldiers and even the soldiers of the undead camp were extremely crazy. Although they could not speak human language, they also roared. Chapter 387 Victory is at hand. Just do it. Obviously, at this time, the morale of the Alliance army was very high. The castle lords on the battlefield were not affected by the annihilation of the Alliance boss and the core top castle lords. They didn't care about them at all. Anyway, it wasn't them who died. What's more, after the death of those bosses and top castle lords, they, the ordinary Alliance members, had a better chance to grab the blueprints of the 3 arms buildings. What else should they be sad about? As for killing Tang Xiaofan and exposing the godhood, they no longer considered it. They knew very well that with their strength, it was impossible to kill Tang Xiaofan, who had been promoted to a demigod. Their only thought now was to kill into the Black Technology Castle and destroy Tang Xiaofan's castle heart, hoping to explode the blueprints. Seeing that the defensive magic shield covering the Black Technology Castle was crumbling, all the castle lords on the battlefield were extremely ecstatic. After attacking for such a long time and losing 20,000 to 30,000 arms, they finally saw the results. It was not easy. At the same time, the morale of them and their arms also climbed to the peak again. Victory is just around the corner. What else do they have to think about? Just do it. Amid the roars of countless castle lords, the flying army in the sky and the army on land besieged the Black Technology Castle even more frantically. Especially in the sky, only tens of thousands of flying soldiers were left. Almost all of them were red-eyed, and they attacked the defensive magic shield of the Black Technology Castle regardless of everything. It was also under this desperate and crazy attack that the demigod-level defensive magic shield arranged by the Elf Mother Tree was about to collapse. Not only was the light dim, but countless cracks appeared. Brothers, come on. The defensive shield of the Black Technology Castle is about to break. As long as the shield is broken, hundreds of thousands of soldiers will be able to rush in. Victory belongs to us. Kill. The castle lords on the battlefield were very excited. They were only one step away from success. Even demigods can't stop us. Tens of thousands of flying soldiers and hundreds of thousands of land soldiers. As long as they break into the Black Technology Castle, they can easily destroy the heart of the castle and turn this high-level main city into ruins. We are about to end the legend of Tang Xiaofan. The sacrifice of the bosses is worth it. The new castle era will be opened up by us. Kill. All the castle lords were extremely excited, and even the soldiers under their command were extremely excited, and each of them was brave and not afraid of sacrifice. But at this moment, a huge shield fell from the sky. This shield covered not the Black Technology Castle, but the entire battlefield. With a diameter of hundreds of kilometers, it directly covered the Black Technology Castle and hundreds of thousands of troops from the major alliances. Seeing this scene, the castle lords on the battlefield were all shocked and had a bad premonition. Then, they found several figures standing high in the sky, a total of 8 figures, each exuding a terrifying aura. Fuck. Are they all demigods from the Black Tech Castle? Oh my god. Tang Xiaofan actually has 8 demigods under his command. This is simply too funny. What do they want to do? Idiots. They use magic restrictions to cover the entire battlefield. What else can they do except trap us on the battlefield and kill us all? It's over now. I didn't expect that the Black Tech Castle actually has so many demigods. 8 demigods. It's simply exaggerated. Why are you talking so much nonsense? There is still hope. Bullshit hope. The Black Tech Castle directly dispatched 8 demigods to suppress the entire battlefield. Can these ordinary castle lords, who are only level 20 at most, still turn the world upside down? Seeing the astonishingly large magic restrictions covering them, some of the castle lords immediately fled to the back of the battlefield, using magic scrolls, or riding their own soldiers, and running very fast. When the 8 demigods from the Black Tech Castle arrived, they knew that there was no hope. If they didn't run, would they just wait to die? Unfortunately, they were too slow. Before they could escape, the magic restriction directly blocked the entire battlefield. With the Black Technology Castle as the center, the area within nearly 100 kilometers around was completely blocked. All the castle lords and castle soldiers on the battlefield were imprisoned inside. Before, in the battlefield over in the Dragon's Nest, there were castle lords who ran fast and escaped, but here, the 8 demigods joined forces and directly suppressed all the Alliance army. More than 200 castle lords and more than 500,000 castle soldiers were all blocked in the magic restriction without exception. Damn it. Tang Xiaofan is going to kill us all. He doesn't even give us a chance to escape and wants to kill us all. There are more than 200 castle lords present. He is so cruel. Boss Tang Xiaofan. A castle lord shouted in horror. Open the shield and let us go. Don't kill us, and we will no longer besiege your castle. Let's go our separate ways. If you don't open the shield, we will both die. At worst, we will risk our lives to destroy the heart of your castle. At that time, even if we die, you will also lose your identity as the lord of the castle, and you will never be able to participate in the 10,000 races tournament again. If you don't open the shield, you will both die. On the battlefield, many castle lords shouted. Originally, they were still very confident and very motivated. They thought they could destroy the heart of the castle of black technology. But now they have no confidence. After all, who can fight against 8 demigods? Their only idea now is to leave the battlefield and even use the threat of destroying the castle to negotiate with Tang Xiaofan, hoping that Tang Xiaofan will let them go. However, they did not get a response from Tang Xiaofan. Instead, a large number of figures flew out of the black technology castle. The weakest ones were all level 20, and there were a large number of level 21 strongmen. These figures included demons, angels, elves, humans, huge dragons, holy unicorns, holy light Pegasus, and phoenix guards emitting golden light. Hundreds of thousands of castle troops directly rushed out of the defense magic shield that was about to be broken. They fought with the flying troops in the sky. Of course, it is better to say that it is a one-sided slaughter than a fight. Before, on the battlefield of Dragon Nest, after the various legions under Tang Xiaofan destroyed the 200,000 alliance troops, the number of troops promoted to level 21 reached a full 2,000. Among them, angels were the majority, and the number of level 21 angels exceeded 1,000. As for the remaining angels, they were all powerful beings at the peak of the late 20th level. With such terrifying strength, how could those flying soldiers, who were only at level 20 at the highest, and at level 2 or 3 at the lowest, be able to resist? Not to mention the battlefield harvesters like the Iron Warriors who ignored levels. Even if there were more of them, they were just as weak as ants in front of Tang Xiaofan's castle soldiers. Chapter 388. Tens of thousands of soldiers died in the blink of an eye. Any level 21 or 20 magic thrown in can wipe out a large area of flying soldiers. Not to mention that 100,000 soldiers launched missile attacks together, and the overwhelming missiles began to attack. Almost in the blink of an eye, the bodies of flying soldiers fell from the sky. It was just like dumplings. Facing Tang Xiaofan's powerful soldiers, the top soldiers in the enemy camp, such as dragons, elf dragons, bone dragons, golden griffins, two-headed dragons, etc., were killed in large numbers and were no match at all. As more than 2,000 level 21 domains swept across, the flying soldiers in the sky fell in large numbers. In less than 10 minutes, tens of thousands of flying soldiers were slaughtered. The remaining flying soldiers had no morale, their loyalty plummeted, and they fled directly, just like a flock of scattered birds fleeing in all directions. But in the end, they still didn't escape, and were slaughtered by the warriors, angels, elves, phoenix guards and other castle soldiers who caught up with them. Tens of thousands of flying soldiers seem to be a lot, but in fact, they are just that. Not to mention the 100,000 iron warriors under Tang Xiaofan, just his more than 2,000 level 21 soldiers. One person killed thousands of enemies, and could kill the tens of thousands of flying soldiers in the sky. In front of the level 21 domain, those weak flying soldiers had no power to resist. Once the domain was swept, a large number of flying soldiers died. The broken corpses mixed with the exploded soulstones and blueprints fell from the sky like a rainstorm. The scene looked quite shocking. However, such a scene was a torment for the castle lord on the battlefield. Seeing that the defensive magic shield of the black technology castle was about to be broken, it was obviously cracked, and it was just a little bit away from being destroyed directly. As a result, in the blink of an eye, tens of thousands of flying soldiers died cleanly. Above the tourmaline blue sky, only the powerful figures of the black technology castle were left. cold steel warriors, beautiful elves, angels flapping snow white wings, phoenix guards burning with golden flames, huge dragons, holy unicorns, small goblins and dwarves, each with a terrifying aura, made the castle lords feel cold all over. Tang Xiaofan's castle is too powerful, it's not at the same level as us. Who to blame? It's all the God-slaying alliance and the God-slaughtering alliance. Not only did they fail to defeat the army of the Black Technology Castle, but they were killed cleanly. A full 200,000 troops were slaughtered. Such a huge amount of experience. Tang Xiaofan's guards can't be strong. At the beginning, we expected, the Black Technology Castle has at most only a few dozen level 21 troops. Such strength is completely within the controllable range. But with the capture of the Dragon Nest and the destruction of the armies of the God-slaying and God-slaughtering alliances, the strength of Tang Xiaofan's troops skyrocketed, and the number of dozens of level 21 troops directly increased to more than 2,000. I suspect that the God-destroying alliance and the God-slaughtering alliance are going to give experience to Tang Xiaofan's troops. If it weren't for the destruction of their army, we wouldn't have been defeated so badly. The castle lords on the battlefield were extremely angry, cursing the members of the God-destroying alliance and the God-slaughtering alliance. It was known to everyone that the castle lords' troops could upgrade their levels by killing enemies. If it were any local force with only dozens of level 21 warriors guarding them, they would have been pushed down by them long ago. But Tang Xiaofan was different. He was the lord of the castle. With the help of the war with Dragon Nest, the war with the God-destroying alliance and the God-slaughtering alliance, Tang Xiaofan's troops were like taking a realm-breaking pill, and their levels were rising. From the initial dozens of level 21 warriors, it has become more than 2,000 level 21 warriors now, and even the number of demigods has increased from 3 to 8. The overall strength of the Black Technology Castle has increased dozens of times in an instant. This is naturally not something the Alliance army can resist. Of course, it was not just because the strength of the Black Technology Castle had skyrocketed, but also because there were no high-level combat forces in these alliances. If they had the same number of level 21 warriors and demigod warriors as the Black Technology Castle, the war would be even more intense. But to be honest, Tang Xiaofan had not yet used his full strength until now. He had not yet used the Angel Clan's War Fortress City. From beginning to end, if he had used the Sky City at the beginning, the Alliance army's camp would have collapsed long ago, and how could they have persisted until now, and besieged his castle? My stored soul stones are completely useless. Tang Xiaofan shook his head. For some reason, he felt quite regretful. He had started to reserve soul stones a long time ago, just to deal with this war. He planned to use the Sky City to win this war. As a result, the plan could not keep up with the changes. Even Tang Xiaofan did not expect that the top leaders of those alliances would actually send 200,000 troops to send heads and experience to his castle army that had just captured the Dragon's Nest. With their generous support, the number of his level 21 soldiers increased from more than 500 to more than 2,000. With more than 2,000 level 21 warriors and 8 demigods, there was no need for the Sky City, a war fortress, to deal with the Alliance army outside the city. In addition to not choosing to move, Tang Xiaofan also stopped the use of the magic cannons, closed defense cannons and other defensive buildings on the city walls, because the enemies killed by them could not gain experience. Now the hundreds of thousands of land soldiers of several alliances were blocked and besieged on the battlefield by his demigods, warriors, angels, and elves using the power of laws, and they could not escape. This was a case of catching turtles in a jar. Killing them with magic cannons was a shameful waste. Tang Xiaofan, since you are so cruel, we will destroy your castle heart, even if we risk our lives. The Alliance army outside the city was still frantically attacking the walls of the Black Technology Castle. The lord of the castle on the battlefield was still shouting, threatening Tang Xiaofan to let them out. Tang Xiaofan's response to these people was also very simple, just one word: kill. With a command, the castle army in the sky immediately rushed into the camp of the Alliance army, and the big yellow duck that had mastered the air supremacy also began to enter the battlefield and cooperated with the soldiers to start harvesting. For a time, the castle lords on the battlefield suddenly became terrified and ran desperately to the back of the battlefield. At the same time, He ordered the troops under the magic to besiege Tang Xiaofan's castle troops. However, it was useless. The powerful 20-level field swept across, and all the enemy troops in an area disappeared. Even the castle lords in it could not escape. If any unlucky castle lord was affected by the power of the 20-level field, he would be torn into pieces directly. They were weak, and could not compete at all. The same was true for their troops, and they were swept across a large area in the blink of an eye. At the same time, all the gates of the Black Technology Castle were opened. Chapter 389. My legs go weak when I think of Tang Xiaofan. A large number of figures came out of the city gate alone, including the Light Army, the Goblin Army, the Dwarf Army, and even all the tribal elves under Tang Xiaofan. All of them came out to kill. Their strength is very weak, and they can never confront the Alliance army outside the city like I see. But it doesn't matter. Tang Xiaofan sent hundreds of level 21 strongmen to protect them, giving them the greatest degree of security. Moreover, it doesn't matter if they die in battle. Tang Xiaofan is ready to revive them at any time. The resurrected troops will join the battlefield again. In short, he wants all the combat troops in the castle to be upgraded to a higher level by killing the enemy army. This is hundreds of thousands of experienced babies. If you don't brush it now, when will you brush it? What's there to be afraid of death? He can revive them. And after being resurrected as light-eyed troops, their growth potential will become even higher. Tang Xiaofan even hopes that all the goblins and dwarves with low potential will die once, and after being resurrected and reincarnated, their future will be bright. The city gate is open. Kill. Kill in. If Tang Xiaofan doesn't give us a way to live, then kill into his high-tech castle, and destroy the heart of the castle. A castle lord shouted, ordering the Alliance army to force their way into the city. However, Tang Xiaofan was well prepared. He asked his 8 demigods to be stationed near the major city gates. Whenever the Alliance army's troops approached, they would be killed instantly. The power of the demigods was naturally not something the Alliance army could contend with. After several attacks and heavy losses, they retreated and dared not approach the city gate again. This made the castle lords very angry. Seeing the city gate open, their troops could not get in, and they felt very uncomfortable. They have now seen that Tang Xiaofan is just training their troops. Otherwise, why don't those demigods take action? With the powerful power of the demigods, it is enough to kill the Alliance army, to collapse in a very short time. However, Tang Xiaofan's demigods only guarded the city gates, and had no intention of participating in the war. Obviously Tang Xiaofan treated their troops as experienced babies. By killing their troops, the strength of other weak troops in the Black Technology Castle can be improved. It is commonly known as group leveling. Damn it. Kill all Tang Xiaofan's troops below level 20. Let him know what pain is. Kill. Countless Alliance troops surged like a tidal wave, causing considerable casualties to Tang Xiaofan's Goblin Army, Dwarf Army and other combat troops. Even if there were 21 level strongmen protecting them, they could not be unscathed. However, not long after, another large group of goblins and dwarves appeared, exuding a strong light magic power. Obviously, they were all light goblins and light dwarves resurrected by Tang Xiaofan. I don't know how long the war lasted, and finally the lord of the castle found something wrong. It seemed that the troops of the Black Technology Castle could not be killed at all. No matter how many they killed, another batch would emerge soon. As a result, the number of Black Tech Castle troops on the battlefield did not decrease at all, and their strength became stronger and stronger. Some of them have even been promoted to level 20, killing everyone on the battlefield. Fuck. I know that goblin. I killed him not long ago. Why did he show up again? Did Tang Xiaofan master the technique of subjugation? Subjugation is a joke. Damn. Tang Xiaofan's castle troops will be resurrected. This is the tragedy of the Alliance forces. After all, the Alliances are attacking only one castle force, not the local empire in the central area. They can't beat it. It's so sad. At this time, many Alliances in the castle forces were shrouded in a dark cloud, just because Tang Xiaofan put more pressure on them. The Black Tech Castle troops are strong, and Tang Xiaofan himself is so strong that he has been promoted to the demigod realm at a speed countless times faster than the top castle lords. Everyone can only look up to such a powerful force. What will they do when they compete for the throne of the God King in the future? Among the many alliances, only the Goddess House, the members of the Holy Light Alliance, were cleared out again and again by Bear Grylls. All of them were Tang Xiaofan supporters. Knowing that the Black Technology Castle swept the Alliance army, they were naturally happy. The situation of the Goddess House was similar. The girls in the Alliance were not only Tang Xiaofan supporters, but most of them were Tang Xiaofan's fans. They have been expecting the Black Technology Castle to defeat the Alliance army. Now, the dawn of hope has appeared. They naturally began to cheer and celebrate. Master Tang Xiaofan is so strong. Although I didn't go to the battlefield, I felt my blood boiling when I saw the barrage in the World Chat channel. My legs were weak with excitement. I love Master Tang Xiaofan so much. ZZ, are your legs weak because you are excited? Otherwise, humph. I really want to meet Master Tang Xiaofan. It's a pity that Master Tang Xiaofan won't open the teleportation array for us. We dare not go to the forest without the permission of the Master. I'm almost dying of anxiety. Bear Grylls, don't you have a friend with Master Tang Xiaofan? Share the teleportation array. I want to, but Tang Xiaofan doesn't agree. It was Bear Grylls who replied, and he also joined the Goddess House. But he is also the deputy leader of the Holy Light Alliance, and the position of the king leader has always been reserved for Tang Xiaofan. Betty, didn't the members of the Holy Light Alliance go to help the great god Tang Xiaofan in this war? Yes, Betty. Isn't the Holy Light Alliance an alliance with the great god Tang Xiaofan as its core? It's not that we don't want to go, Betty replied. I have summoned about 100 castle lords to try to help the Black Technology Castle, but Tang Xiaofan refused. Betty, who was in the Karami Prairie, also felt quite helpless. Tang Xiaofan didn't open the teleportation array. What could he do? He couldn't even get some experience. Oh, I really want to know what Master Tang Xiaofan looks like. Appearance doesn't matter, the key is whether Master Tang Xiaofan likes women. I'm confident that I can make Master Tang Xiaofan like women. Zio Tong Tong, you can't do it. For issues in this regard, Sister Qimeng and Sister Yizu have to come. Damn Nana, you should be glad that you are not next to me. Otherwise I will beat you to death with 2 punches. Panic. Karami Prairie. Bear Grylls closed the internal group chat of the Goddess House, hesitated for a moment, opened the friend column, and sent a message to Tang Xiaofan. What are you doing? After a long time, she received a reply. Tang Xiaofan, killing people. Bear Grylls' mouth twitched slightly. How is the battle situation over there? Tang Xiaofan, it's basically over. Bear Grylls' eyes widened. So soon? Tang Xiaofan, my legion has returned to the castle, and the situation has stabilized. Bear Grylls, unbelievable. You actually won. That's a 1,000,000-strong army composed of major alliances. There is no problem attacking the cities of the local empire in the central area. Tang Xiaofan, how do you know there is no problem? Seeing this reply, Bear Grylls couldn't help but complain about straight men. She was just describing how powerful the 1,000,000-strong army was. She had never been to the local empire in the central area, so how could she know whether the 1,000,000-strong army could capture the city over there? Bear Grylls changed the subject. What did you gain? Tang Xiaofan, if there's nothing else, let's talk about it first. Bear Grylls. Chapter 390. The new artifact comes from the Moonlight Goddess. Black Tech Castle. Tang Xiaofan closed the friend list. Outside the castle, tens of millions of troops were attacking his walls, and the defensive magic shield above was about to be breached. How could he be in the mood to chat with others? Of course, the Black Tech Castle was not in a state of crisis now. The situation on the battlefield was still under his control. He just wanted to destroy the army outside the city as soon as possible to reap the fruits of the war. He couldn't wait to upgrade the Black Tech Castle to a royal capital and establish a dynasty-level power. Tang Xiaofan was wearing a white and gold holy weapon suit with a handsome face and a majestic aura. He stood on the hundreds of meters high wall of the Black Tech Castle, overlooking the Alliance army outside the city that was like a sea. Those castle soldiers were really fearless. Even though 200,000 or 300,000 of the original 800,000 troops had been killed, they still rushed forward frantically, vowing to capture his castle. At this moment, a figure appeared out of thin air beside Tang Xiaofan. It was the guide. In his hand was a crescent-shaped artifact. The whole body was silver white and exuded a dreamy luster. At the same time, the surface of the artifact was covered with countless divine patterns. "My lord." The guide handed the artifact to Tang Xiaofan respectfully and said, "This is the artifact." "Well done." Tang Xiaofan nodded and then took the Luonou-like artifact. As soon as it came into his hands, the artifact kept trembling, trying to escape from his control. It was not until he used the power of the law to suppress it that the artifact slowly calmed down. He threw an identification spell on it. Blade of the Moonlight Hunting Goddess. Rank, Artifact. Description. This is an artifact made of moonlight, containing the power of moonlight and extremely powerful. Current status. Sealed. Requires divine power to unseal. Effect. Unknown special effect. Unknown special reminder that you will be noticed by the Moonlight Hunting Goddess Margaret. Please choose carefully. For Tang Xiaofan, it doesn't matter whether he will be noticed by the Moonlight Hunting Goddess Margaret. Anyway, he has already received the special attention of the elf goddess Isabel. It's not a big deal for one more goddess to pay attention to him. What he cares about is the status of the artifact. Just like what the Castle Lord of the Fire Dragon's Nest said, it is sealed and requires divine power to unseal. In other words, it can be seen but not used, just like the godhead he collected. However, I have now been promoted to a demigod. According to the current upgrade speed, it will be soon to become a god. It won't be long before I can use this artifact. Tang Xiaofan was in a good mood. He tried to put the artifact into the ring, but found that he couldn't put it in. After asking the game official, he learned that the artifact has a spirit and its power is terrifyingly powerful. His king's ring was only a top-grade holy weapon, so it could not hold a divine weapon. After thinking for a moment, Tang Xiaofan threw it directly into the castle warehouse, which worked. Tang Xiaofan turned to the guide beside him and said, "You demigods should also take action. Use the power of demigods to block the entire battlefield, and don't let the enemy escape." "Yes, my lord almighty." As soon as the voice fell, the guide's figure disappeared instantly. When he reappeared, he was already 10,000 meters above the battlefield. Near him, there were 7 figures standing, namely Olivia, the spirit of the elf mother tree, Zan Yi, Zan the angel of the heart tiger, Zan 27, Zan 12 and the great elf Monica. The 8 demigods of the Black Technology Castle all appeared, and saw that the size of the army was getting smaller and smaller. A large number of soldiers were slaughtered every moment, while the soldiers of the Black Technology Castle were crazy. The strength of the troops increased, and the upgraded golden light kept appearing, and the strength became stronger and stronger. On the battlefield, the castle lords of several alliances were so angry that they wanted to curse. It was fine that Tang Xiaofan used their troops to level up and train. They would do the same if they were in his place. After all, there were 8 demigods guarding the entire battlefield in the Black Technology Castle, and there were more than 2,000 level 21 warriors running rampant on the battlefield. With hundreds of thousands of troops on the battlefield, their troops were equivalent to experienced babies. Such a good opportunity naturally could not be missed. Of course, they had to use it to train, and train hard. But the key problem was that understanding was understanding, but Tang Xiaofan's castle troops could not be killed at all. No matter how many castle troops they killed, soon those castle troops would shout and rush out of the Black Technology Castle, and the number would not be too many or too few. What about the resurrected troops? No matter how many they killed, Tang Xiaofan's castle troops could be resurrected. They rushed out of the Black Technology Castle again and again, and those castle troops were all crazy like lunatics, fearless of death. As time passed, the strength of the castle soldiers is getting stronger and stronger, and it is getting harder and harder to kill them. Not to mention the castle lords on the battlefield, even the soldiers they summoned, have a great sense of powerlessness. Damn it. There is no way to fight such a war. The soldiers can actually be resurrected, can you believe it? If it weren't for the castle soldiers under Tang Xiaofan, each of them is flesh and blood, I would suspect that I'm fighting against the undead. Don't say it. The undead soldiers under my command are not so perverted. Although the undead can also be resurrected, each resurrection will consume a lot of soul power. Once the soul power is exhausted, the undead will also die. But Tang Xiaofan's castle soldiers have been killed by us so many times. Not only have they not decreased, but they have become stronger rapidly. Some soldiers have even been promoted to level 20, making them even more difficult to kill. Tang Xiaofan is obviously using our soldiers to brush experience. It's simply abominable. This war was a mistake from the beginning. You're right, I shouldn't have come. Being killed directly by Tang Xiaofan is the end of everything. But Tang Xiaofan didn't kill us at all. He just sent his weak castle troops to slowly wear down our army. What he wanted was to torture us to death. How hateful. The castle lords on the battlefield could be said to be in tears, seeing their troops being killed continuously, while Tang Xiaofan's castle troops were able to revive continuously and become stronger by killing their troops. That feeling was quite uncomfortable, making them almost explode with anger. A castle lord shouted angrily, I want to figure out one thing now. What kind of troops are those fucking troops? Why can they be resurrected after being killed so many times? The castle lords around were speechless. How did they know what the origins of Tang Xiaofan's perverted troops were? Not only can they be resurrected after being killed, but each of them is as fanatical as a lunatic. Just like religious fanatics, even the castle lords hiding behind the battlefield were frightened and felt their scalps numb. After a long time, finally, a castle lord spoke up. It must be related to Tang Xiaofan's demon army buildings. Most of Tang Xiaofan's castle soldiers are native intelligent creatures of the god and demon continent. Angels, goblins, dwarves, two-headed demons, elves. These biological races do not have the ability to resurrect. The reason why they can be resurrected and reincarnated continuously must be that Tang Xiaofan borrowed the power of the demon army buildings. Chapter 391. This transaction can obtain hundreds of millions of resources. That makes sense. Many castle lords agreed, although they didn't know what the information attribute of the demon army building was. Judging from the name alone, the demon army building probably also had the ability to resurrect. Combined with the current situation, it can almost be concluded that the castle soldiers killed by the Alliance army were resurrected through a building in the Black Technology Castle. Damn it. Even if we find the reason, what can we change? The size of our army is still getting smaller, while Tang Xiaofan's castle troops are getting stronger. Those castle troops will return to their initial level after resurrection, and their strength will be low. But as long as they are not killed in the first place, they will be able to grow up quickly and become more and more difficult to kill. If this continues, all the castle troops under Tang Xiaofan will become very powerful. By that time, I'm afraid we will die without a burial place. This is an unsolvable proposition, a castle lord said with a depressed face. When our Alliance army is slaughtered, Tang Xiaofan will probably have thousands of level 21 troops. Maybe there will be more demigods. Hearing this, the other castle lords twitched their faces. Who asked them to bring hundreds of thousands of troops to Tang Xiaofan to brush experience? Such a large-scale army of troops has a huge amount of experience. Even a pig can brush a demigod. We are here to give Tang Xiaofan heads and experience. Not just experience, hundreds of thousands of troops. How many soulstones, blueprints, equipment will be exploded? After the battlefield is over, Tang Xiaofan's troop buildings and demon troop buildings will be able to directly upgrade to level 7, and the levels of the elf mother tree and the monastery of light will also explode. The castle lords didn't know that Tang Xiaofan's farmer factory was already level 7. Even the elf mother tree and the monastery of light have all reached level 6, surpassing countless castle lords. We are not here to besiege the Black Technology Castle, but we are here to give Tang Xiaofan a generous gift. We are here to help Tang Xiaofan become more powerful and invincible. As soon as these words came out, the castle lords on the battlefield felt even more uncomfortable. They were clearly here to destroy the Black Technology Castle, explode the Godhead, and explode the blueprints, but in the end, they didn't accomplish anything, but instead prompted Tang Xiaofan's Black Technology Castle to become stronger. The depression in my heart cannot be described in words. Boss Tang Xiaofan. On the battlefield, a castle lord shouted, "Stop first, don't kill anymore." As long as you let us go, we will leave all the soldiers here to give you experience. Let them stand still, and let your castle soldiers kill them. What do you think?" His voice resounded throughout the battlefield with the help of magic. But after a long time, the owner of the voice did not get a response. On the contrary, the Black Technology Castle Legion on the battlefield killed more happily. For the soldiers of the Black Technology Castle, the omnipotent lord protected them, and they could be resurrected, even if they died on the battlefield. What else are they afraid of? Just rush up. When you see the enemy, the more you kill, the stronger they will be. In comparison, the Alliance army and the castle lords on the battlefield felt a kind of pain of being unable to live or die, and felt quite uncomfortable. Stop shouting, it's useless. Tang Xiaofan obviously doesn't want to let us go. No, we still have a chance. A level 20 castle lord gritted his teeth and flew high into the sky, casting his eyes towards the white figure on the distant city wall and shouted, "Boss Tang Xiaofan, let's make a deal." This time, he got a response. Tang Xiaofan's calm voice came over. "What deal?" The level 20 castle lord was immediately ecstatic. He was not afraid that Tang Xiaofan would not agree, but he was afraid that Tang Xiaofan would ignore him. Then there would really be no hope. He said hurriedly, "If you let us go, we will leave all our troops here and give you the resources. There are nearly 200 castle lords on the battlefield. Just think about it, how huge a resource this is. There are definitely hundreds of millions or even billions of units of resources. It can completely help your Black Technology Castle upgrade from a high-level main city to the level of a royal capital. Then you can directly establish a dynasty." That's right. Another castle lord flew high into the sky and shouted to Tang Xiaofan, who was standing on the city wall, "If you kill us, you will get nothing. But if you let us go, you can get hundreds of millions of resources. Such a deal will only benefit you, not harm you. If you don't trust us, we can also sign a contract supervised by the game officials. If we breach the contract, we will lose our identity as castle lords. With the game officials notarizing it, you don't have to doubt our sincerity at all." For a moment, many castle lords were shouting. They seemed to have seen hope, and they expressed their willingness to hand over all the resources of the castle to Tang Xiaofan in exchange for their lives. What can Tang Xiaofan get by killing them? It's nothing more than the experience of nearly 200 arms. But compared with the hundreds of thousands of troops on the battlefield, what are their experience? On the contrary, if they let them live, they can give Tang Xiaofan hundreds of millions of resources. Nearly 200 castle lords. Even if one family has only 100,000 units of resources, that's 20 million units. What a huge amount of supplies. It's terrifying to think about it. So killing them is not worthwhile at all. Letting them go, Tang Xiaofan can get more things. Now it depends on what Tang Xiaofan chooses. However, they believe that Tang Xiaofan will be tempted, and in fact, Tang Xiaofan is indeed tempted. Compared with hundreds of millions of resources, the lives of these castle lords are really nothing. Originally, he was not going to let these castle lords go, and wanted to kill them all, not letting any of them go. Otherwise, he would not let his 8 demigods block the entire battlefield, leaving all the castle lords with no way to escape. He tried to use a bloodbath to warn those who wanted to take over the Black Technology Castle. But now, he was attracted by this deal. If he could get hundreds of millions of castle resources, his Black Technology Castle would be able to be directly upgraded to a mid-level royal capital, or even a high-level royal capital. In addition, the soulstones and other materials stored by the nearly 200 castle lords on the battlefield must be an astronomical figure. Maybe, he could directly upgrade his farmer factory to level 9. Summon his stock. Thinking of this, Tang Xiaofan was even more excited. The World Chat channel was also hotly discussed. Countless castle lords and wanderers gathered here to discuss the Black Technology Castle War. Revelation. The war between the Black Technology Castle and the Alliance army has made new progress. The 800,000 troops besieging the Black Technology Castle were slaughtered to only 200,000 or 300,000, and less than 200 castle lords were killed. All castle lords are begging for forgiveness from Tang Xiaofan. The latest news. This war of the century may end peacefully. Peace. What's going on? With Boss Tang Xiaofan's character, it doesn't make sense for him to let those castle masters go when he has the upper hand. Isn't this like letting a tiger go back to the mountains? If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 392. The castle power is no longer taken seriously. What tigers? They are just some ordinary castle lords. The top castle lords who led the Alliance army and several Alliance leaders were all killed by Tang Xiaofan. The castle lords who are still alive on the battlefield are generally low and medium level castle lords, and only a few are high level castle lords. Compared to Big Brother Tang Xiaofan, they are not even kittens, let alone tigers. That's what the above said. Even if we let them go, there is no threat to Big Brother Tang Xiaofan. After this battle, no one dares to attack the Black Technology Castle again. I just want to say that Tang Xiaofan is also a kind person. Some castle lords have spoken, and my friend told me that they are now negotiating with Tang Xiaofan. Exchange their lives with the castle supplies. They are all afraid of being killed by Tang Xiaofan, and they beg Tang Xiaofan to let them go. For this reason, they not only leave all the troops for Tang Xiaofan to gain experience. In addition, they also promised to hand over all the supplies in the castle to Tang Xiaofan. I also received my friend's message. This is true. Fuck. Isn't Big Brother Tang Xiaofan going to make a lot of money? With nearly 200 castle lords, the total resources they have, how much do they have? Definitely billions of units. Oh my god. So many resources are enough to upgrade the Black Technology Castle to a very high level royal capital. In addition, there are soul stones. The soul stones stored by nearly 200 castle lords combined may be able to directly upgrade Tang Xiaofan's military buildings to level 9. Level 8 is very promising. After all, Tang Xiaofan has 3 military buildings. My military buildings are still only level 5. Why haven't such a good thing happened to me? Is the person above crazy? This is a good thing for Tang Xiaofan, but a disaster for us. Can your castle withstand the siege of million troops? I'm afraid it will be razed to the ground in minutes. This is a benefit that belongs only to Tang Xiaofan. No castle lord can suppress an army of millions. I finally realize, now that there are 200 money-giving boys. This is so unfair. Tang Xiaofan is obviously getting so strong. At this time, many castle lords stood up, but most of them are anonymous. For a few resources, he let go of those who besieged the Black Technology Castle. Where is the dignity of Tang Xiaofan, who is known as the strongest castle lord? He let go of those who wanted to kill him lightly, just for a few resources that can be found everywhere. Is this something the strongest castle lord can do? If it were me, I would kill them all. Resources are shit. I just want to kill all those people and give a bloody warning to other castle lords. I support Tang Xiaofan to kill those who invaded the Black Technology Castle. The transaction is an insult to the title of the strongest castle lord. I call on Tang Xiaofan to bloodbath the battlefield. ? Not many castle lords responded, but there were quite a few rebuttals. Where did these idiots come from? Look at their anonymous status. These people are worried that after Boss Tang Xiaofan completes the deal and obtains massive resources, he will become even stronger. Once Boss Tang Xiaofan obtains hundreds of millions of resources, it will be even more difficult for them, the top castle lords, to challenge Boss Tang Xiaofan's position. These people are getting anxious. Haha. I was wondering why they are so idiotic. Compared to hundreds of millions of resources and military buildings upgraded to level 8 or 9, what's the point of killing those castle lords on the battlefield? Strength is king. What's more, Boss Tang Xiaofan's strong suppression of millions of troops is enough to prove his title as the strongest castle lord. After all, who else can do it except Boss Tang Xiaofan? As soon as this deal came out, some top castle lords were as anxious as ants on a hot pot. They couldn't wait to jump out to stop it. They're scared. Normal. If I were a top castle lord and wanted to dominate the world, I wouldn't want to see Boss Tang Xiaofan obtain hundreds of millions of resources all at once. Just as the castle lords of the neutral camp analyzed, the top castle lords of the major alliances are indeed anxious. After all, Tang Xiaofan himself is so powerful. With the strength of a castle alone, he suppressed the millions of troops assembled by several alliances. How powerful is this? The strongest castle lord, worthy of the title. And once Tang Xiaofan obtains the resources reserved by nearly 200 castle lords, upgrades the black technology castle, and upgrades the 3 military buildings in the castle, what will happen? It would be strange if the top castle lords of the major alliances were not anxious. The highest level of their castles has just been upgraded to the primary main city, while Tang Xiaofan's black technology castle has reached the level of a high-level main city. The gap itself is already terrifying. Let Tang Xiaofan earn a huge amount of resources, and in the future competition, they will fight with Tang Xiaofan's black technology castle. So many top castle lords stood up anonymously and tried to make Tang Xiaofan give up the deal through various remarks. Will Tang Xiaofan listen to them and give up the deal? Obviously it is impossible, because he was already tempted. Unless he was stupid, he would refuse the deal. After all, compared with hundreds of millions of resources, plus the possibility of directly upgrading to level 9, the slaughter of a group of ordinary castle lords who were not even top castle lords. What was that? He had already deterred the entire castle force through this war. After that, I believe no castle lord would dare to go against him again. As for those alliances, they didn't have the courage. What he had to do now was to grow stronger, and the black technology castle upgraded the 3 military buildings in the castle to prepare for the God War that could come at any time. Compared with the God War and the attack on the local empire in the central area, the castle force was no longer taken seriously by Tang Xiaofan. For him, he was already invincible in the castle force, and the new target would be the local empire in the central area. Well, and Stark! Exclamation mark. When Tang Xiaofan thought of him, he couldn't calm down. The Alliance of Gods, once known as the strongest alliance among the castle forces, was now bleak. When Bear Grylls withdrew from the alliance, he took a group of top castle lords with him. During the siege of the Black Technology Castle this time, a large number of top castle lords in the alliance were killed by Tang Xiaofan, and even the high-level councillors died, leaving only 3 out of 5. As for the top castle lords, at the beginning, the Alliance of Gods had 9 councillors and hundreds of top castle lords, which was definitely the strongest alliance among the castle forces, with infinite glory. But now, however, the few councillors and top castle lords who survived were very lucky that they did not join this war. If they had gone to the forest, they would have been dead now. After all, those top castle lords who besieged the Black Technology Castle were directly wiped out by Tang Xiaofan, so how could they not be lucky? Chapter 393, Game Officials Fishing Operation. Even Brother Huo is dead. Fortunately, I didn't go this time. I was thinking of waiting for 2 more hours before teleporting over. Now that I think about it, I'm really scared. If you had gone, you would be dead and your body wouldn't even be found. Isn't it? It's such a pity that Brother Huo died. He was the second in the Beast Tide event battle PowerPoints list, second only to Tang Xiaofan's Black Technology Castle. As a result, it was destroyed before it even started to shine. Tang Xiaofan is too strong. Millions of troops can be suppressed, and even a demigod will die if he goes. There is news from the Black Technology Castle that Tang Xiaofan already has the body of a demigod. To be honest, even a demigod can't think of conquering the Black Technology Castle. Tang Xiaofan is already invincible in our castle force. Brothers, have you seen the information in the World Chat channel? Tang Xiaofan is making a deal with the castle lords on the battlefield. Once successful, he will obtain massive resources. I saw it a long time ago. Those castle lords on the battlefield have no choice but to survive. If Tang Xiaofan gets the resources stored by the more than 200 castle lords, that would be too terrifying. If nothing unexpected happens, Tang Xiaofan will choose to make a deal. Nonsense. If it were me, I wouldn't refuse either. After all, there is no point in killing those ordinary castle lords. On the contrary, the castle resources they store are treasures. The resources of the more than 200 castle lords are absolutely massive. I'm afraid there must be billions added up. The resources in my castle are only 800,000 units in total. Billions of units of resources. I can't imagine. Tang Xiaofan is going to make a lot of money this time. After this war is over, it will be even more impossible to destroy the Black Technology Castle in the future. Who dares to attack the Black Technology Castle at this point? I don't have the courage. I'm afraid of death too. The top castle lords in the Alliance of Gods were a little sighing. Everyone was glad that they did not participate in this war, but they felt very uncomfortable with the sudden increase in the strength of the Black Technology Castle. After all, the ultimate goal of the 10,000 Races tournament is to fight for the only throne of the God King. As the top castle lords, they are naturally ambitious. But now, Tang Xiaofan's Black Technology Castle has become so powerful, and it is possible to get billions of units of resources, which will become even more terrifying. How can they fight with the Black Technology Castle in the future? They can't do it now, let alone in the future. They all hope that Tang Xiaofan will refuse the deal and kill all the ordinary castle lords on the battlefield, but this is obviously impossible. Even a fool knows what is important. Compared with billions of units of resources, those hundreds of ordinary castle lords are nothing. Any castle lord would know how to choose. What's more, in addition to the castle upgrade materials, the soulstones and other materials stored by the ordinary castle lords are also an astronomical figure. It is completely possible for Tang Xiaofan to upgrade the arms building to the maximum level, and Tang Xiaofan has 3 arms buildings. The remaining top castle lords of the Alliance of Gods felt their scalps tingling at the thought of this. I just want to know where Tang Xiaofan got the elf mother tree and the Monastery of Light. You know, these are both top level troops. I'm also curious about how he got the troops blueprints. And he got 2 of them. From the time I descended to now, I have killed at least 300,000 or 400,000 wild monsters and local intelligent creatures. But let alone the blueprints of top level troops buildings, even the blueprints of low level troops buildings have not dropped. Who isn't? Among the hundreds of castle lords, there are definitely no more than 100 castle lords who own 2 troops buildings, not to mention someone like Tang Xiaofan who owns 3 top level troops buildings. I almost suspect that Tang Xiaofan is the illegitimate son of the game official. His luck is simply invincible. The most terrifying thing is that Tang Xiaofan also has a godhead. Tang Xiaofan also has a godhead. What's the point of a godhead? Tang Xiaofan is already a demigod. With his promotion speed, maybe he will become a god before the 1-month seal period of that godhead is over. For Tang Xiaofan, it's the same, whether he has a godhead or not. Damn it. Tang Xiaofan crushes us in every aspect. What's the point of playing this game? I suspect something. What? I strongly suspect that they are fishing for Tang Xiaofan. Look at Tang Xiaofan now, 8 demigods, thousands of level 21 warriors, and billions of resources that are about to be obtained, all of which are sent to him by the major alliances. Without the millions of troops of the major alliances, how could Tang Xiaofan be so strong? Now that you put it that way, it really seems like fishing. No doubt. Damn it. This is official cheating. Many level 1 castle lords are complaining. Of course they also believe that the game official will not do such a despicable thing. But the problem is that the game official rewarded Tang Xiaofan with divine power and issued a world announcement saying that killing Tang Xiaofan will definitely explode the divine power. In addition, destroying the Black Technology Castle has a chance to explode the architectural drawings of the demon army, directly fishing hundreds of castle lords to die. This series of operations is too much like fishing. The target is these castle lords who used to send heads, experience, and supplies to Tang Xiaofan. This wave of operations is quite cool. If you stay in the alliance, you will be liquidated by Tang Xiaofan sooner or later. I'm withdrawing too. Many top castle lords are very worried. After all, the Gods Alliance is the mastermind of the Alliance army. There are still 100 or 200 ordinary Alliance members left on the battlefield over the Black Technology Castle. If Tang Xiaofan wants to liquidate the Gods Alliance in the future, he will definitely take these remaining top castle lords as the first move. If you don't withdraw from the Alliance, you will die sooner or later. Withdraw, withdraw, withdraw. The Gods Alliance aims to destroy the Black Technology Castle, and now it must change its name. The reason is very simple, we can't do it. The core purpose can only be to quietly grow crops and strive to become gods. Agree. The name of the new alliance is the Dawn Alliance. I hope that we, the top castle lords, can usher in our own hope and dawn in the future. Yes. Soon, the Gods Alliance was disbanded, and the New Dawn Alliance appeared. As for the ordinary members of the Alliance of Gods who remained on the battlefield, they were all abandoned. They were recruited as cannon fodder to besiege the Black Technology Castle. Now that all the leaders were killed, who would care about their lives? The war in the Black Technology Castle was no longer fierce. All the castle lords restricted their troops and prohibited them from attacking the Black Technology Castle. Now only a small group of troops were still fighting with Tang Xiaofan's castle troops. The masters of those troops were dead, and their loyalty made them avenge their dead masters. Chapter 394, Recruiting tens of thousands of castle soldiers. But in general, the war was relatively calm. This made many castle lords on the battlefield feel relieved. At least it meant that they had a greater chance of survival. Boss Tang Xiaofan, shall we sign the notarization agreement immediately? When we return to the castle, we will immediately trade the castle materials to you. We will never dare to disobey in secret. Many castle lords hiding behind the battlefield stood up, hoping that Tang Xiaofan would let them go, and for this, they were willing to pay all the castle materials. Under the witness of the game official, they really did not dare to deceive Tang Xiaofan, unless they wanted to give up their status as castle lords. But how could this be possible? It was just materials, and if they lost them, they would just collect them again. How could it be more important than the status of castle lords? No castle lord wanted to become a wanderer, unless it was absolutely necessary. Okay. Tang Xiaofan did not continue to torture them. He had made a decision and agreed to let them go. After all, compared with billions of units of castle materials and a large number of soulstones, the lives of these hundreds of ordinary castle lords really had no value. If he wants to gain experience, there are still 200,000 or 300,000 soldiers on the battlefield for him to gain. In addition, he has a bigger plan. That is to recruit the soldiers of the light, good, and lawful camps on the battlefield. All of them will be expanded into his castle soldiers and his believers. He estimates that with the help of the faith magic of the Angel of Heart Tigger, this wave can at least recruit tens of thousands of soldiers and convert them all into his believers. A castle with tens of thousands of light soldiers is a very terrifying thing. If it is spread out, it will be enough to shake the entire castle force and terrify countless castle lords. In addition, after having these tens of thousands of soldiers, he can smoothly dominate the entire forest and attack the surrounding Barlily Highlands, Death Swamp, and Karami Prairie, where Bear Grylls is located. Once this move is successful, the development speed of the Black Technology Castle will exceed everyone's imagination. Seeing the castle lords on the battlefield cheering excitedly, Tang Xiaofan didn't say much. The value of these ordinary castle lords is only to contribute the castle supplies in reserve to him. It would be a waste to kill them if they don't have more value. Sign the contract. After Tang Xiaofan communicated with the game official, he obtained a way to sign a collective contract. With a thought, he directly released the power of the demigod's law, condensed into a huge contract magic circle, and placed it on the battlefield. In the center of the magic circle is an illusory golden contract. The content of the contract is very simple, that is, the content of the transaction. If the spirit of the contract is violated, then the game official will deprive him of his status as the lord of the castle. Thank you, Boss Tang Xiaofan. After returning to the castle, I will immediately put all the supplies on the shelves for you, and I will not leave a single cent. I promise that I will never go against Boss Tang Xiaofan again from now on. The castle lords on the battlefield were very excited, and they rushed to step onto the magic circle and sign contracts with Tang Xiaofan, fearing that Tang Xiaofan would regret it if they were one step late. It took more than an hour, and all the hundreds of ordinary castle lords on the battlefield signed contracts with Tang Xiaofan. There were also very few castle lords who were sneaky and thought they could blend in with the crowd and return to the castle safely without paying anything. They didn't know that when the contract came into effect, the two parties would establish a contractual connection. Tang Xiaofan could tell at a glance who didn't sign the contract and wanted to get away with it. The fate of these castle lords was also very simple. They were killed by Tang Xiaofan directly with the power of the demigod law. It can be said that he was merciless. He didn't give them any chance to quibble. The remaining castle lords all felt cold in their hearts, and at the same time they were glad that they were more honest and didn't do such things. Otherwise, they would also become a ball of blood mist, not to mention the corpse. It seems that even the soul was dissolved. It can be said that they died thoroughly. Finally, I don't have to die. I swear I will never come to the forest again in my life. This is my nightmare place. Who else is coming? I don't want to experience the first time again. Compared to those dead castle lords, we are already very lucky. Castle supplies are nothing. We can collect them later. The key is that people are fine. Long live Tang Xiaofan. For a while, many castle lords cheered, as if they were not enemies with Tang Xiaofan before, but supporters of Tang Xiaofan. Not long after, Tang Xiaofan ordered his demigods to open portals for them to leave on the magic band covering the entire battlefield. As for their troops, they were all left on the battlefield. After leaving the battlefield, a castle lord said, "The loyalty of my troops has dropped greatly, from more than 80 points to less than 60 points, and it is still dropping. It's the same. We abandoned them. How could they be loyal to us? Okay, let's go." Fortunately Tang Xiaofan didn't destroy those teleportation arrays, otherwise it would be difficult for us to go back. That's right, hurry back and hand over the castle supplies to Tang Xiaofan. If the contract time limit is exceeded, the game official will directly deprive us of our status as castle lords. The contract time limit is 5 hours, and they must hand over all the castle supplies to Tang Xiaofan within this time period. Otherwise, it would be considered a breach of contract, and no one can admit the price of violating a contract. The hundreds of ordinary castle lords who escaped by chance did not dare to stay for long. They ran towards the distant space teleportation magic circle like crazy. As for the troops on the battlefield, they didn't want to pay attention to them anymore. Besides, they could just recruit more troops. Anyway, they were the lords of the castle, and could recruit troops every day. Being able to survive was enough for them to cheer and celebrate. How could they care about the life and death of those soldiers? My lord the Angel of Heart Tiger flew over and asked respectfully, "I wonder how to deal with those heretics and evil creatures on the battlefield?" After being abandoned by the castle lords, the loyalty of the soldiers on the battlefield suddenly dropped sharply. Almost all of them were in a state of defection. Even if the castle lords returned, their loyalty would not be improved. Now, this army of up to 200,000 or 300,000 soldiers has become ownerless. But it is not easy to subdue them. After all, they have been betrayed twice. The soldiers recruited by the castle lords are not mindless tools. They are creatures with souls, who have been betrayed once, so they will naturally not be easily subdued. But this problem is not difficult for Tang Xiaofan. The angels are professional in spreading their faith. Tang Xiaofan said to the first one in the battle, "Kill all the soldiers in the dark, evil, and chaotic camps, and recruit the remaining soldiers of light, kindness, and order to surrender. Leave the matter of recruiting to surrender to the Angel of the Heart, Tigger." Yes, my Lord Almighty. Chapter 395. Transaction completed to obtain massive resources. Soon the fight started again. After receiving Tang Xiaofan's order, the soldiers of the Black Technology Castle attacked the soldiers in the dark, evil, and chaotic camps. As for the soldiers in other camps, if they resisted, they would be killed. This was an order from the Lord. All the castle soldiers were extremely loyal to execute it. I don't know how long it took. Finally, all the soldiers in the dark, evil, and chaotic camps on the battlefield were killed, and the entire battlefield was shrouded in dazzling holy light, purifying the dark evil and the breath of the undead in it to prevent the birth of undead creatures. There were only about 50,000 soldiers left. Of course, some of them were human-shaped soldiers, and some were beast-shaped soldiers. The ranks of these soldiers were generally not high, but they were good in number. And the killing continued until now, and they almost gave up resistance. Even if they were soldiers, they were afraid of death. What's more, they no longer had a loyal castle lord, and their loyalty was zero. Naturally, they didn't need to fight for anyone. Under the divine power of the Angel of Heart Tigger, all the soldiers present gave up resistance, and chose to surrender. At the same time, the gentle voice of the Angel of Heart Tigger resounded throughout the battlefield. Lord, have mercy on the world. People should believe in the Lord and worship the Lord. Almighty Lord, create the world, create all things, and create living beings. Lord, selflessness, mercy. People should pray to the Lord and pray for the Lord's blessing. Along with Tigger's whispering, endless light rain fell from the void and merged into the bodies of every soldier, including their souls. Even so, they still did not resist, not only because they had lost their loyalty to the lord of the castle and had no motivation to resist, but also because of the influence of the divine power from the Angel of Heart Tigger. They had no desire to fight. After a long time, the light rain dissipated, and only the holy light still covered the battlefield. Tens of thousands of soldiers gathered together, looked at the figure standing on the towering wall with great reverence, and then knelt on the ground fanatically. Almighty Lord, may the holy light always be with you. Believe in the Lord and you will have eternal life. Their voices rolled like a torrent, shaking the heaven and earth. Even the alien beasts among the tens of thousands of soldiers could not speak human language, but they also roared and expressed their reverence for the God of faith. The world chat channel was shaking continuously. The reason was simple. The hundreds of castle lords left the forest alive. The deal between them and Tang Xiaofan had been reached. When this news reached the world chat channel, it immediately caused a heated discussion and also shocked countless castle lords and wanderers. It was not that this news made them unbelievable, but because the benefits that Tang Xiaofan got from it were too amazing. As expected, Tang Xiaofan chose to let those castle lords go. This is normal. Normal people will make such a choice. That's right. After all, the high level and top castle lords of several alliances have been slaughtered by Tang Xiaofan. Those hundreds of thousands of castle lords are just ordinary castle lords and pose no threat to Tang Xiaofan. Killing them is just to gain some experience. But if you let them go, you can get a huge amount of castle supplies. The Black Technology Castle is currently already a high-level main city. After obtaining the trade supplies, I'm afraid it can be directly upgraded to a royal capital. Billions of resources can directly upgrade to a mid-level royal capital or even a high-level royal capital. Envy. My castle is still just a high-level town. It belongs to the upper middle class of castle forces. Most castle lords are generally still low-level or mid-level towns. The gap between us and boss Tang Xiaofan is too big. Damn it. The bosses of those alliances are really out of their minds. Tang Xiaofan's development speed has surpassed us by who knows how much, and now he's going to give away heads, experience, and supplies. As a result, the gap is getting bigger and bigger. If this goes on, which force will be able to surpass the Black Technology Castle in the future? I can understand a million-strong army. With such a powerful war force, no wonder those top castle lords were overconfident and underestimated boss Tang Xiaofan. Not only did they not destroy the Black Technology Castle, but they also helped it become more powerful. I really don't know what to say. Speaking of which, from the beginning of the war to now, boss Tang Xiaofan has never used the Sky City. Damn. If you hadn't mentioned it, I would have forgotten that boss Tang Xiaofan also has the Sky City. So, the several alliance forces headed by the Alliance of Gods were doomed to fail from the beginning. Boss Tang Xiaofan did not use the Sky City, obviously to use their troops to gain experience. Don't mention the Alliance of Gods. Not only the Alliance of Gods was disbanded, but also the Alliance of God Killers, Alliance of God Punishers, Alliance of God Destroyers, and all other participating alliances were disbanded without exception. The Great Alliance of Demon Destroyers they formed was also directly wiped out. Big Brother Tang Xiaofan destroyed at least 5 big alliances by himself. Too strong. Big Brother Tang Xiaofan is my idol. The world chat channel was very lively, and the alliances in the castle forces were hotly discussed. Although the Alliance of Gods has become history, there are still many alliances in the castle forces. The more famous one is the House of Goddesses. The internal groups of these alliances have all set off a wave of enthusiasm. It is difficult to calm down. Especially in the grassland paradise, many members of the alliance are worried. The reason is also very simple, because it is too close to the Black Technology Castle, and their alliance center is in the Karami Prairie. And the Karami Prairie is a neighbor of the forest. After Tang Xiaofan conquered the forest, he would definitely continue to expand to the surrounding areas. The Karami Prairie where they are is obviously one of Tang Xiaofan's offensive targets. Brothers, we are in big trouble. We are in danger. The dynasty level forces in the forest have been wiped out by Tang Xiaofan. After he completely rules the forest, he will definitely come to trouble us. The Black Technology Castle is so powerful, who can stop its invasion? It's not that serious, right? I also think it's a bit alarmist. The forest is so big, and with the current number of troops in the Black Technology Castle, it will definitely take a long time to conquer all the local forces and unify them. It seems that Tang Xiaofan only has a total of 100,000 troops. A total of? But that's relative to our castle lord. A mere 100,000 troops scattered throughout a forest with a diameter of thousands of kilometers can't even make a wave. That makes sense. We have enough time to develop. We do have time to develop, but what about in the future? Who can compete with Tang Xiaofan? The castle lords of the grassland paradise were silent. No one could answer this question, because the strength of the Black Technology Castle was too terrifying. Today, several alliances and millions of troops were directly destroyed in one day. Compared with destroying the Demon Alliance, their grassland paradise is nothing. If Tang Xiaofan attacks the Karami Prairie, then they will definitely not be able to stop him. Whoever goes up will die. In front of Tang Xiaofan, the top castle lords are just weak ants. Chapter 396. Don't worry, we still have a chance. Don't worry. In the short term, Tang Xiaofan will not have enough troops to capture the Karami Prairie. We still have time to develop the strength of the castle. Again, what should we do if Tang Xiaofan leads a large army to kill us? I've already said to develop the strength of the castle. The Karami Prairie covers more than 100,000 kilometers, which is much larger than a forest. There are a large number of dynasty level forces in the prairie. What we have to do now is to unite and attack those dynasty level forces. Once we succeed, the strength of our troops will be greatly improved. As long as we unite together and continue to capture those dynasty level forces, I believe that soon we will have a large number of level 21 troops and even demigod troops under our command. Tang Xiaofan was able to suppress the millions of troops of those alliances. Isn't it because of his 8 demigods and thousands of level 21 troops? If we have more demigods and level 21 troops than him, what are we afraid of? That's right. Tang Xiaofan's Black Technology Castle also developed rapidly after conquering the dynasty forces in the forest. If we can conquer the dynasty forces, we can also develop rapidly dynasty level forces. After destroying them, our strength will become very strong. The development speed of the castle will be unimaginable. At that time, even if Tang Xiaofan comes to kill us, we can still fight his castle army. Indeed, we still have hope. These words were recognized by many members of the Grassland Paradise Alliance. They believed that the reason why the several alliances headed by the Alliance of Gods were defeated was that they suffered from the lack of demigods and the number of level 21 troops was too small. If they had more demigods and more level 21 troops, they would naturally not have to be afraid of Tang Xiaofan. How can Tang Xiaofan's development speed be faster than our entire alliance? The Demon Killing Alliance underestimated Tang Xiaofan's strength, but we are different. After this battle, we know Tang Xiaofan's strength very well, and it is not impossible to compete with him. Our top priority is to unite and attack those dynasty level forces on the grassland. Rapidly increase the number of level 21 troops and demigod troops in our alliance. Once Tang Xiaofan really attacks the Karami grassland, we will fight him to the death. Second, +1 other alliances in the castle forces also had similar discussions, and they have formulated the same development plan. Although they cannot independently capture the dynasty level forces like Tang Xiaofan, they are an alliance. They can unite and cooperate to attack the local dynasty. As long as they successfully embark on this path, the level 21 troops and even demigod troops under their command will emerge like mushrooms after rain. At that time, will they still be afraid of Tang Xiaofan? Tang Xiaofan is just ahead of us, but it does not mean that we, the top castle lords, are stagnant. A single top castle lord is obviously not Tang Xiaofan's opponent. But we are an alliance. As long as the entire alliance develops, Tang Xiaofan's uniqueness is nothing. In the distant I sense no alliance. There are also top castle lords who are boosting morale. There is no need to over mythologize Tang Xiaofan. No matter how strong he is just one person. We will not be as stupid as the alliance of gods. Before we have investigated the strength of the Black Technology Castle, we will go to war with Tang Xiaofan. What we have to do next is for all members to unite, develop together, and jointly attack the local dynasty level forces to speed up our development. We have to pile up more level 21 demigod arms, take Tang Xiaofan's path and leave him with no way to go. As for the Wanderer Alliance, the result of the discussion was very simple and pure, and they were very confident. Why are you afraid of Tang Xiaofan? We are wanderers, not castle lords. We don't belong to the castle. The world is at the feet of us wanderers. No matter how powerful Tang Xiaofan's castle is, can it really restrain the wanderers? Brothers, stand up. We are going to encircle and kill the 20 level boss of the continent of gods and demons to enhance our strength. As long as every one of us is a 20 level powerhouse and everyone is a demigod, even Tang Xiaofan has to give our Wanderers Alliance 9 points of face. 9 points of face? What about the other one? The last point depends on who is more handsome. Old Zhang, you have no chance. There is news that Tang Xiaofan is very handsome. Get lost. Not long after, when countless material trading information appeared on the trading channel, it shocked all the castle lords and wanderers in the world in just a moment. It also made countless people envious and jealous. When opening the trading channel, it was full of similar trading information, selling 25,304 units of food, metals, gems, and monster materials. Exchange price: 1 unit of wood. Designated exchanger, Black Technology Castle, Tang Xiaofan, selling 412,782 units of food, 121,457 units of wood, 21,124 units of stone, equipment, blueprints, and monster materials. Exchange price: 1 unit of wood. Designated exchanger, Black Technology Castle, Tang Xiaofan, and so on, all the way down. All the similar information, densely packed and countless, and all the designated exchanges and all the designated exchangers. Designated exchanger, Black Technology Castle, Tang Xiaofan, looking at the trading information on the trading channel. Let alone ordinary castle lords, even the high level and top castle lords of the major alliances are envious, because there are hundreds of such trading information. It's really crazy. The world chat channel exploded because of this. Oh my god. Big boss Tang Xiaofan really made a fortune this time. All the supplies of hundreds of castle lords. I'm jealous. Fuck. How much do all these supplies add up to? At least tens of billions of units, or even more. And it doesn't include soulstones, equipment, monster materials and other things. Big boss Tang Xiaofan made a fortune. I want to buy it. I can get it in exchange for just 1 unit of wood. What are you thinking? Didn't you see that the designated exchanger is Big Boss Tang Xiaofan? Except for Big Boss Tang Xiaofan, no one can exchange. We can only envy. These people are crazy. Yes, they are crazy, and they are also taking out shells and other things to trade with Tang Xiaofan. It is said that this is the content of the transaction. Hundreds of castle lords have all signed a notarized contract with Big Boss Tang Xiaofan. As long as it is the supplies in the castle, they must all be handed over to Big Boss Tang Xiaofan. Even if you leave a few piles of green grass, it will be considered a violation of the contract. Once the contract is violated, the identity of the castle lord will be revoked by the game officials. Who dares to cheat? What kind of supplies is green grass? Some soldiers eat it, and some also eat grass. For example, the Minotaur of the Orcs. Hundreds of millions of units of supplies. How many levels does this castle have to be upgraded to? At least it should be the level of the royal capital. What's the royal capital? It's already a high level main city now. With billions of supplies, maybe we can directly upgrade the castle to the imperial capital. Chapter 397. The amount of supplies is really surprising. The imperial capital is an exaggeration. It's just a high level royal capital at most. That's also very scary. My castle is still just a high level town, 6 levels away from a high level royal capital. Mine is the same. Because, with my development speed, I can almost catch up with boss Tang Xiaofan in a year. 1 year is impossible. 100 years will be good to catch up with boss Tang Xiaofan. The brother upstairs is bragging, it's been 100 years. Not only the castle, but also the military buildings. With the soul stones reserved by hundreds of castle lords, it can be upgraded to a higher level, and it is possible to directly upgrade to level 9. Those monster materials are also a huge fortune. To be honest, the castle lords don't have much other supplies, but monster materials are the most. The monster materials collected by hundreds of castle lords combined, I'm afraid tens of billions or less. Speaking of which, how much equipment is needed to build this? I'm afraid it will take decades to consume it all. Boss Tang Xiaofan is getting rich overnight. Whoever can destroy the black technology castle can also become rich. Brother upstairs, haha. How dare he? At this time, the world chat channel was like a pot of boiling water, so hot that it burned my hands. It attracted countless castle lords and wanderers to discuss it. Everyone envied Tang Xiaofan, and even envied him. After all, Tang Xiaofan had obtained countless resources in a short time. Who wouldn't envy and be jealous? They were all castle lords, so why was the gap so big? Therefore, even the girls in the goddess house were jealous and breathing fast. Master Tang Xiaofan has made a fortune. I'm sure he's going to build a kingdom this time. Of course. Master Tang Xiaofan has obtained so many resources, it's easy to upgrade the royal capital. I heard that several forces with primary main cities have already established kingdoms. I also heard that the pseudo dynasty above cannot be recognized by the world laws of the gods and demons continent because it does not have the heart of the dynasty. Tang Xiaofan wants to build a real kingdom. I wonder if Master Tang Xiaofan has enough fragments of the heart of the dynasty in his hand. It shouldn't be enough. After all, there are only a few dynasty level forces in the forest. That's a pity. Even if Master Tang Xiaofan upgrades the castle to the level of the royal capital, he can't build a kingdom immediately. I'm also planning to settle in Master Tang Xiaofan's kingdom. Z, you have so many ideas. Bad Tong Tong, don't you want to? Kerami Prairie, looking at the information in the internal group of the goddess's house, Bear Grylls didn't know why, but he was inexplicably happy. Could it be because he was the only one who knew that Tang Xiaofan had already obtained the only reward, the heart of the dynasty, during the Beast Tide event? I think it will be soon. Tang Xiaofan's kingdom will be established. A kingdom recognized by the world's laws. Perhaps it won't be long before the world announcement comes again. Benny Yi believes that the establishment of the first kingdom is such a big thing that the game officials will definitely not be stingy with the world announcement. When it is announced to the world, it will inspire other castle lords. I hope that Tang Xiaofan can open the teleportation array by then. My gifts are all ready. The Black Technology Castle, the demigod magic ban covering the entire battlefield has been removed, and tens of thousands of soldiers who have defected to the Black Technology Castle are cleaning the battlefield. Under the influence of the power of faith, their loyalty has directly reached more than 90 points, and it is only a matter of time before they reach 100 points of die-hard loyalty. Faith is loyalty. This sentence is not just a casual remark, and Tang Xiaofan did not immediately inspect his castle legion, but exchanged for the supplies traded to him by the castle lords. 1 transaction information, the loss of a unit of food, or a unit of wood, stone. This is not a big deal. The key is that there are hundreds of transaction information, and his eyes are dazzled. Finally, he couldn't help but wonder if he could trade in batches. After all the trades he made designated him as the buyer, not ordinary daily trades. He thought that he could apply to the game official. Finally, he got good news. The game official told him that the trading channel had such a hidden function. This was indeed good news, which prevented Tang Xiaofan from clicking on hundreds of trading information in a row. Even as a demigod, he would have to click until he collapsed. Then Tang Xiaofan used the hidden function of the trading channel to directly conduct a large-scale transaction. In just a moment, a huge amount of supplies appeared in his castle warehouse. When he opened the warehouse information and took a look, even Tang Xiaofan was stunned. After Tang Xiaofan completed all the transactions in the trading channel at one time and obtained the supplies of hundreds of castle lords, he couldn't wait to check the reserve information of the castle warehouse. At this moment, he was stunned. Castle warehouse capacity contains a small dimensional space, the size of which will increase as the level of the castle increases. Reserve materials: food 13.765 billion units, wood 5.843 billion units, stone 3.6928 billion units, refined iron 2.549 billion units, monster materials 40.172 billion types. Gold coins, gold and silver utensils, gemstones, noble jewelry and other materials. Current status: invincible. Special reminder: if the heart of the castle is destroyed, the warehouse's dimensional space will collapse, and the reserve materials will all fall and become the spoils of hostile forces. Please protect your heart of the castle. Oh my god, is this crazy? Looking at the supplies stored in the castle warehouse, even Tang Xiaofan couldn't help but scream and gasp. It's really too much. Just food alone has obtained more than 13 billion in more than 700 units. What is this concept? Even if his existing more than 100,000 troops open their stomachs to eat together, it will take several years to eat up these 13 billion units of food. In addition, the monster materials he obtained were even more outrageous, with the number reaching more than 40 billion, which was simply unbelievable to him. In addition, the three materials used to upgrade the castle, wood, stone, and refined iron, although much less than the food and monster materials, the number of each type was also several billion units. In total, there were more than 10 billion units of wood, stone, and refined iron. This wave was really crazy. Tang Xiaofan's body trembled a little. He was too excited. Originally, all the materials he had stored added up to a total of more than 10 million units, which was far from enough to upgrade the high-level main city to the royal capital. But after this transaction, his stored materials, apart from the monster materials, only food, wood, stone, and refined iron added up to more than 20 billion units. There were too many, so many that Tang Xiaofan couldn't believe it. At the same time, he was extremely excited because the castle at the royal capital level was already waving to him. It was not until a long time later that Tang Xiaofan calmed down. It seems that it is normal to get so many supplies. After all, there are about a few hundred castle lords who trade with me. Although they are all ordinary castle lords, most of them are low level and mid level, and only a few are high level castle lords. The stored supplies are definitely not as many as the top castle lords, but they have a large population. On average, the food stored by each of the hundreds of castle lords is less than 1 million units. You should know that the food in Tang Xiaofan's own warehouse, plus the food sold in the trading channel, is a total of several million units. Compared with his millions of units of food, the average food stored by those castle lords is less than 1 million units. Is this a lot? Of course not. It can even be said that it is very little. After all, there is no market for the food now, and it can't be eaten up, so it can only be stored. From the end of the Beast Tide event to now, it has been so long, and those castle lords have only stored so little food, which is really poor. Chapter 398, The Battle Plan of the Supersized Steel Warrior. However, thinking that most of them were only low-level and mid-level castle lords, Tang Xiaofan was relieved. He could not ask too much of these castle lords. By the same token, Tang Xiaofan's harvest of more than 10 billion units of wood, stone, and refined iron at a time was not too much. After all, the total of these three materials was more than 5.8 billion units of wood, nearly 3 billion units of stone, and just over 2 billion units of refined iron, which added up to about 11 billion units. On average, the wood, stone, and refined iron stored by each of the hundreds of castle lords was also less than 2 million units in total. The wood, stone, and refined iron stored by a castle lord did not exceed 2 million units in total. It can be said that it was really very little. Take Tang Xiaofan for example. Even if his castle was constantly upgraded to the current advanced main city level, a large amount of materials was consumed during the period. But even so, the total amount of wood, stone, and refined iron he stored was more than 10 million units. The materials of those castle clan lords were nearly 5 times less than his, which was indeed very little. However, Tang Xiaofan was already very satisfied. Could he still ask those ordinary castle lords to store the same amount of materials as him? Obviously this is impossible. After all, the strength of those castle lords is not high, and it is already quite difficult to store these materials. Tang Xiaofan roughly counted the other materials in the castle warehouse, especially the monster materials, which amounted to 41 billion. But then again, it is not an easy task to consume more than 40 billion units of monster materials. The dwarf equipment master on Ray told Tang Xiaofan before that the dwarf blacksmiths and goblin blacksmiths in the castle can forge more than 30,000 pieces of equipment every day when there are abundant metal resources such as monster materials and refined iron. This is a daily forging volume. Several billion equipment divided by more than 30,000 pieces of equipment. That is to say, if he wants to use up the more than 40 billion monster materials he has now, it will take about 100,000 days, which is less than 300 years. 300 years. Tang Xiaofan rolled his eyes several times and whispered to himself. But now it is different. Among the tens of thousands of soldiers who have surrendered, there are also a large number of equipment forgers of various races such as goblins, dwarves, and humans. If nothing unexpected happens, with their black technology castle, more than 100,000 equipment can be produced every day, or even more. With a large number of equipment masters, there will naturally be more equipment to be forged. Tang Xiaofan is also preparing to train more dwarves, goblins, humans and other intelligent races of various forms to become equipment forgers to forge more equipment. He now has more than 40 billion monster materials. If he doesn't use them, it would be a waste. Moreover, the number of soldiers under his command is only 200,000, and many of the humanoid soldiers, except farmers, are not equipped because the ordinary castle lords are too poor. What he planned to do next was to recruit more soldiers and farmers to turn his existing 200,000 plus troops into a population of 5 million. The 5 million plus troops were divided into two types. One was a life type variety that did not need to participate in the war. They were responsible for organizing the construction of castles, building castle buildings, collecting resources, making equipment, battlefield logistics, etc. The other was a pure combat variety that was specifically responsible for combat. This type of troops should be well equipped and consisted entirely of steel warriors. The core combat power should be built around giant steel armor robots. According to the army building plan given by Jarvis, there should be no less than 100 large steel armor robots on standby, and around these large robots, they should be equipped with conventional steel armor warriors and air forces, as well as supply bases, etc. Let these large robots have the power to destroy a local empire. This is a huge plan, but it also requires a lot of technical difficulties to be overcome. At present, it is impossible to implement it by relying solely on Dr. Ethan and the Winter Soldier. Therefore, Tang Xiaofan's top priority is to provide the level of the farmer's factory as soon as possible and recruit more scientists, such as Tony Stark. As for these local arms, their next job is to sell all the equipment they have built in exchange for various materials. As for the management of these local arms, Tang Xiaofan handed it over to his Jarvis, and he didn't need to do such trivial things. He only needed to convey an order to Jarvis, and Jarvis would use the authorization to start the allocation and production, and completely get things done. In addition to common resources such as monster materials, a large number of other materials were also harvested, all kinds of them, such as pure water, honey, fresh fruit, bread, rice, wild wheat, fish products, and so on. For example, decorative gems, gold coins, silver coins and copper coins, as well as antique ornaments, strange things, as well as shells, fresh grass, edible dried insects, branches that exude magic, various potions, and so on. There are really many kinds, and you can get whatever you want. In addition, there are a large number of drawings, nearly 10,000, but they are all ordinary drawings, which are useless. After all, the useful drawings have long been used by the castle lords themselves. The useless drawings were only put on the trading channel by them, and these are the drawings that have not been sold yet. After being taken off the shelves, they were all traded to Tang Xiaofan. Those castle lords would not think that the things put on the trading channel were not castle supplies, nor did they dare to try to challenge it. After all, once they were regarded as violating the contract by the game officials, their castle autonomy would be instantly stripped away. Losing the status of the castle lord for a useless blueprint was not worth the loss. So they collected all the things put on the trading channel and traded them to Tang Xiaofan. Those hundreds of castle lords all became penniless, the castle warehouse was empty, and the rats had to starve to death. As for the nearly 1 million blueprints, Tang Xiaofan directly used the spiritual consciousness of the demigod to count them, and soon he finished checking them all. He found that except for a few dozen blueprints of the lookout tower, the refining shop, etc., which were still useful, the other blueprints were of no great use. He also put them all on the trading channel for sale at a low price, and he would exchange as many supplies as he could. In addition, there were fresh grass, edible dried insects, larvae. Tang Xiaofan's mouth twitched slightly, and he decisively ignored them and stored them in the castle warehouse. If they are needed in the future, they can be used. If not, just keep them in the warehouse. Anyway, his warehouse is big enough to hold a whole forest, so he doesn't need that little space. In addition, there are more than 700,000 pieces of equipment, which should all come from the castle lords who have beast-shaped soldiers. Their soldiers cannot wear equipment, so they are either stored or put on the trading channel. In the end, they have not been sold yet and have been packed and given to Tang Xiaofan. But no matter what, these equipment belong to Tang Xiaofan. Tang Xiaofan called Jarvis and asked him to command the farmers to count all the equipment. The ones with lower grades and poor attributes were put on the trading channel. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 399, The Upcoming Big Business of Yuanyuxiang Chamber of Commerce. The slightly better equipment was stored and distributed to the local troops. It must be said that among the tens of thousands of surrendered troops, there were indeed some interesting troops. Just like the green jelly-like slimes, under the influence of the belief in the sacred tree, they also became believers of Tang Xiaofan. Slimes can't speak, they can only make babbling sounds and spit bubbles from time to time. They look a bit cute. In addition to the common troops, there are also top troops such as forest giants, paladins, dragon knights, silverbacked giant bears, etc. The number of top troops is not large, ranging from dozens to only 1 or 200. However, if you add them up, the number is very considerable. There are nearly 4 or 5,000. These top castle troops will become the main force in his army in the future. After all, they have high growth potential. Most of them are level 21, and a few are at the peak of level 21. Although they are far inferior to his farmers, they are not bad. At least they are at the top of the troops of the entire castle force. Gold and silver coins, antique decorations, gemstones, gold and silverwares. The number of these things is also very large. There are only tens of millions of pieces in total. When Jonah from Yuanyuxiang Chamber of Commerce comes again, I will sell these things to her. In addition, the treasures of Dragon Nest have not been sorted out yet. Tang Xiaofan let out a long sigh. Today's harvest is simply too big for him. It can be said to be a real wave of fat. Just sorting and counting will take a long time. But he didn't feel tired, but in a good mood. I think Yuanyuxiang Chamber of Commerce should have set off, but it will take a long time to cross the wilderness and uninhabited area of 200,000 kilometers. Tang Xiaofan didn't know that, in order to maintain a cooperative relationship with Tang Xiaofan, to remove the magic restriction in the soul as soon as possible, Miss Jonah of Yuanyuxiang Chamber of Commerce did not walk through the wilderness and uninhabited area with people and horses as before. Instead, she directly applied to his father, the president, to call for an airship. At the speed of the airship, Jonah's caravan will soon be able to reach the forest again. Before, Jonah's caravan did not use airships because they were worried about being intercepted by local intelligent creatures when flying over the forest at high altitude. But now it is different. Jonah knew before she left that the southwest of the forest had been occupied by the Black Technology Castle. They can smoothly pass through from the southwest and arrive at the Black Technology Castle. And if Jonah knew that Tang Xiaofan had now eliminated all the dynasty forces in the forest, including the dragon nest, her caravan would not take a detour but would fly to the Black Technology Castle in a straight line. Of course, it doesn't matter when Yongxiangayu Chamber of Commerce arrives, and Tang Xiaofan didn't think much about it. What he has to do now is to upgrade the castle. Just as he returned to the main castle, a petite figure threw himself into his arms. "Big brother." A crisp and pleasant voice sounded. It was the little Lali from the inner world. Behind the little Lali was the old dwarf Moore, who was at the peak of level 21. "Lord." The old dwarf saluted Tang Xiaofan, but his expression seemed a little resentful. Tang Xiaofan patted the little Lalita's head and said to Moore with a smile, "Next time there is such a war, I will definitely inform Saint Moore." When the Alliance army besieged the Black Technology Castle earlier, the little Lalita had already come. She was very worried about Tang Xiaofan's danger, so she wanted to bring the Black Iron Dwarf Corps in her castle to help Tang Xiaofan defend the Black Technology Castle. But Tang Xiaofan refused. It's not that Tang Xiaofan was reluctant to let the little Lalita share experience, but because it was really dangerous. After all, there are millions of troops outside the city. Tang Xiaofan's light army, goblin army, and dwarf army had died and resurrected countless times. The little Lalita's Black Iron Dwarf Corps joined the battlefield. Because they were not his arms, those Black Iron Dwarves could not be resurrected by him. If Tang Xiaofan agreed, the little Lalita's Black Iron Dwarf warriors would definitely die in this terrifying war. So he refused the little Lalita's help, and the little Lalita had no choice but to stay in the main castle and wait obediently. As for Saint Moore, he must have learned the news later and missed a great opportunity. The old dwarf Moore sighed. "I don't know when a war of this scale will occur," Tang Xiaofan said with a smile. "Saint is not in a hurry. After I establish my country, I will consider attacking the Blood Moon state. At that time, Saint will definitely be able to participate in the war. Promotion to demigod is just around the corner." The old dwarf Moore said seriously, waiting for the arrival of the Lord. After Tang Xiaofan returned to the main castle, he did not upgrade the castle immediately, but because the battlefield outside the city had not been cleaned up. Once the castle was upgraded, the direct territory would expand outward, and the useful monster corpses, equipment, soulstones, blueprints and other spoils on the battlefield would disappear directly. Then his loss would be great. He brought the little Lali to the castle hall. After a day of fighting, he was hungry. Waiting for dinner, he would upgrade the castle and the farmer's factory. He took a look at his personal information and soulstone reserves. Lord of the castle, Tang Xiaofan, strength, late demigod, castle level, advanced main city, castle troops, farmers, angels, phoenix guards, dragon clan, natural elves, light troops, pureblood dwarves, dragon swordsmen, forest giants, slimes, castle troops buildings, farmer factory, elf mother tree, light monastery equipment. Protection of natural elves, holy light ring, dynasty heart, sky city, soulstones. 1.2432 billion. After destroying nearly a million troops, Tang Xiaofan's strength was directly promoted to the late demigod. As for the reserve of soulstones, it was also enough. Tang Xiaofan's eyes trembled faintly. More than 240 million soulstones. This is the total reserve of hundreds of castle lords. On average, each castle lord has more than 40,000 soulstones, which is too little. After all, he alone has more than a million soulstones, and these ordinary castle lords can only be described as poor. However, as I said before, there are too many castle lords, only about a few hundred people, and the total number of soulstones is an astronomical figure. Not only can the farmer's factory be directly upgraded to level 9, but even the elf mother tree can be directly upgraded to level 9. As for the monastery of light, it is at least level 8. The reason why it is said to be at least is that the battlefield outside the city has not been cleaned up yet, and the spoils have not been collected. If you are lucky, you may be able to gather all the supplies and upgrade the monastery of light to level 9. 3 level 9 military buildings. Who else can there be in the entire castle lord besides Tang Xiaofan? Tang Xiaofan laughed out loud, causing little Lalita and Saint Mer to look at him in confusion. After dinner, Tang Xiaofan sent little Lalita and Saint Mer back to rest first. He came to the side of the farmer's factory and looked at the increasingly advanced factory. I hope that this upgrade to level 9, my Stark can really be summoned. He has been waiting for this for a long time. Oh, it doesn't seem to be long, less than a month. Chapter 400, 9th level arms building, farmer factory. Tang Xiaofan's eyes fell on the inside of the farmer's factory. At the same time, information about the farmer's factory also appeared in his field of vision. Farmer's factory, unique military building, current level, level 7, unlimited recruitment of farmers, upgrade required. 10 million soulstones. Special reminder, there is a 50% chance that a level 7 farmer's factory can breed farmers with special abilities. It takes 10 million soulstones to upgrade the farmer's factory to level 8. For Tang Xiaofan before, this was a very large number, but now this amount of soulstones is nothing to him. Putting aside the battlefield that is being cleaned outside the city, just the hundreds of castle lords have compensated Tang Xiaofan with more than 200 million soulstones. There is no pressure to upgrade the farmer's factory. After the battlefield outside the city and the battlefield in the Dragon's Nest area are cleaned up, Tang Xiaofan can get more soulstones. It is a foregone conclusion that the farmer's factory will be upgraded to level 9. He even expected that after all the spoils were collected, he could upgrade his other 2 military buildings, the Elf Mother Tree and the Monastery of Light, to level 9. By that time, he would have 3 level 9 military buildings. In an era when most military buildings are only level 5, his 3 level 9 military buildings are invincible, enough to shock the whole world. In fact, the world has been shocked by him. Because he just put up hundreds of thousands of equipment, nearly 10,000 blueprints, and a full 10 billion units of food at one time. In addition to leaving a few billion units of food for the castle to consume, he put all the other food on the trading channel. This one thing alone shocked the entire world chat channel. Countless castle lords and wanderers were shocked. 10 billion units of food. How many troops can be fed? Even if it is a 100 million army, it can feed for many days. Is this the reserve of hundreds of castle lords? It's so terrifying. As I expected, Boss Tang Xiaofan made a fortune this time. The food sold alone is as many as 10 billion units, and there are nearly 10,000 drawings. You can imagine how many other materials there are. I envy Boss Tang Xiaofan. Plus one Tang Xiaofan didn't pay attention to the world chat channel. He was only paying attention to the farmer factory in front of him. Do you want to upgrade the unique soldier building, the farmer factory? Yes, no, yes. Tang Xiaofan chose yes without hesitation. Suddenly, a dazzling golden light appeared out of thin air, covering the farmer factory. It can be vaguely seen that the diameter of the farmer factory in the golden light is constantly expanding. Even Tang Xiaofan, who was standing aside, retreated. In the dazzling golden light, there were countless palm-sized angels flying and singing hymns. The scene was very dreamy and beautiful. Tang Xiaofan also quietly waited for the upgrade of the farmer factory to be completed. Time passed quickly. After an unknown period of time, the singing of the hymn disappeared, and the little angels as numerous as stars returned to the farmer factory. The golden light also gradually dissipated. When the golden light completely dissipated, the upgraded farmer factory also appeared in Tang Xiaofan's field of vision. The most obvious change was the diameter of the farmer factory, which was expanded from 300 meters to 500 meters. It was like a huge warehouse. Previous level, level 8, summonable professional farmers, randomly summoned once a month, extremely talented scientist prototype, super talented hero prototype, special reminder, level 8 farmer factory, there is a 60% probability of breeding farmers with special abilities, upgrade required. 100 million soulstones, this is the information after the farmer factory was upgraded to level 8. In addition, the number of soulstones required for its upgrade has increased tenfold again, becoming 100 million soulstones. These are no different from Tang Xiaofan's previous inferences. As expected, Tang Xiaofan took a look at the remaining soulstone reserves. There were still more than 200 million soulstones, as if there was no decrease. This only shows one thing, that he is now rich and powerful. The 10 million soul stones consumed by the farmer's factory to upgrade to level 8 just now are just a drizzle for him, not a big deal. Without hesitation, Tang Xiaofan opened the upgrade option of the farmer's factory again. Prompt whether to upgrade to a first-line soldier building farmer's factory. Yes, no, yes. Tang Xiaofan still chose yes, and was excited. After this upgrade, his farmer's factory will reach level 9. Level 9 soldier buildings are the highest level of soldier buildings revealed by the official game. If you want to continue to upgrade, it is not possible. In other words, after this upgrade, Tang Xiaofan's farmer's factory has reached the top level. In the future, you don't have to worry about the farmer's factory anymore. You just need to breed farmers peacefully every day. As Tang Xiaofan whispered, the farmer's factory, that had just been upgraded, was once again shrouded in a golden light. This time the golden light was even more dazzling, like the sun. In the gradually fading sky, it was like a dazzling star, illuminating his black technology castle. This scene also attracted the attention of many farmers, angels, and elves. As if summoned, the warriors, angels, and elves all gathered together. Even the Terminator guide who liked to stay in the void walked out of the void and gathered near the farmer's factory. Olivia and the great elf Monica also came, while the other angels and elves stood in the distance and watched. Lord Zhang saluted Tang Xiaofan respectfully and said in a trembling voice, "I feel a strong breath. It is a strong man from our farmer clan." Zhang said excitedly, "Praise your almighty lord. With the help of this strong man, your glory will cover the world faster." The other warriors were also excited, only Olivia and the great elf Monica didn't understand. Are the farmers summoned by the upgraded arms building very strong? But they did not ask without authorization, because now was not a good time. As time passed, the diameter of the farmer factory became larger and larger, and the golden light was filled with dense little angels. The soft hymn resounded throughout the world, and even reached the battlefield outside the city. The soldiers who were collecting spoils knelt on the ground devoutly, and prayed in the direction of Tang Xiaofan. Not only the humanoid soldiers, but also the soldiers in the form of alien beasts crawled on the ground. Their eyes were filled with the glory of faith, and they were also Tang Xiaofan's believers. Tens of thousands of soldiers knelt on the ground in unison, including the soldiers in the outer city, all worshipping their god of faith. The scene was quite spectacular. It was not until the prayer ended that the soldiers stood up and continued their work. After a long time, the upgrade golden light, as bright as a star, finally dissipated. The top level 9th level soldier building, the farmer factory, also appeared in Tang Xiaofan's field of vision. First, after the farmer factory was upgraded to level 9, its area increased dramatically again, and its diameter expanded directly from 500 meters to a full 1000 meters. Within the field of vision, there was a huge factory community. Because the entire farmer factory was shrouded in a dense holy light, it was impossible to see what was inside. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.